Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Oh, I thought that was G-Man for a second.
How's everybody doing out there on this Thanksgiving Eve? Getting ready?
Thanksgiving Eve doesn't have the
It doesn't have a ring.
gravitas as Christmas Eve.
Or New Year's Eve.
Which, along with Deuce, I believe is better than
Christmas Eve?
Yeah.
Disagree with Deuce on you on that one. Though good, it's good. Not trying to throw shade.
I think it's because you have like 8 different Christmases.
My Christmas ends up in like January. I mean, it's all over the place. Every family is different.
Hey, happy Valentine's Day. Also, I'll see you at Christmas next week.
Here's the Christmas gift exchange. It just never ends for us. Everybody does it differently. That's probably the fun of these holidays is people's different traditions. Today, Chris, is supposed to be, and I believe it, I mean, it's statistically put out there, the busiest travel day of the year. I believe that can't be true. I was going to say I believe more people drive on Thanksgiving. That's not always the case, but I think a lot of people are on the road. And kind of with that said, almost want to do a.
I don't know. You always see that scene in L.A. This time of year.
I feel like that's every year, but I feel like that's stock footage. They just grab the freeway shot of yellow lights one way, bright lights one way, red lights the other.
There was one Thanksgiving that my aunt got my parents and I, and then all my cousins, a cruise, like a small cruise to like.
Was that with Dave?
Yeah, it was with Dave.
It was the same one?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was one of those things that you hear about. And then we were going to Long Beach and like just doing fine, just doing great. No traffic, no problems. And
then boom,
4 or 5 o'clock. It's like, oh my God, what is happening?
We'll never make it anywhere. That was still one of my favorite. I wish I could have seen how that played out in real life on video when you were telling me about your cruise. And then just independently, Dave's telling me about his cruise. And it sounded roughly like the same. Wait, Chris is going on a cruise. Dave's going on a cruise. Are you guys going on the same cruise? And then I think Dave was even like, no, I don't think it's the same cruise.
No, I'm pretty sure I said that.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. And then sure enough, it was the same cruise. And I still think it's weird that you guys saw each other once maybe on the cruise.
Multiple times.
Multiple times.
Yeah.
But didn't hang out.
We did one night.
One night?
Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't like hang out. We're just like walking around.
Yeah, it wasn't like you were avoiding each other. You were there with family. He was there with family. But, and someone like how many people roughly were on that cruise? Roughly? A couple thousand?
No, it was smaller. Probably like 1,000.
Okay, but still, I would have, thousands a lot of people, but you would just think you would run into each other like a lot.
I mean, I think we ran into each other every day.
Okay, and it was like about a 3 or 4 day cruise, right?
Yeah.
That's the cruises. I haven't been on one of those that's like multiple days, multiple stops where you get off, and that's part of the
part of it.
That's part of it. I think that's part of also speaking of differences, some people stay on the ship and never get off and look at the different experiences. And
have I told the story about us losing my cousin?
No.
So so I believe it was you get on in Long Beach, you go one day out to sea.
So this cruise that was with Dave as
yes,
well. Okay.
That's the only cruise I've ever been on. Come back to Santa Barbara, go to Ensenada, and then come back to Long Beach.
Okay.
So it's that night out to sea. And so it's like, I love my family. I love all my guys.
Oh, yeah.
And so, but it's like, okay, I kind of need to get away from everybody.
Yeah, I need my time.
Yeah. Because like I'm in like a room with 3 of my cousins.
Yeah.
So it's just like, okay.
Yeah.
I just need a bit away. So everyone's just like, man, I don't even know what to do in Santa Barbara. What are we going to do in Santa Barbara? And someone said, Christopher, what are you doing in Santa Barbara?
Oh, Christopher.
Yeah, I'm Christopher in the family. And so I saw that there's a movie theater there, and that's right when Creed came out.
Okay.
So I'm just like, I'm going to go see Creed.
Cougs.
And it's Cougs. And I'm thinking like, No one's going to want to go to the movies.
Yeah.
My cousin's wife says, wow, that is a great idea. Hey, everybody, let's all go see Creed with Christopher. And it's just like, and I can't be a jerk and be like, no.
But at least it's a movie theater. I mean, that like you kind of get lost in the movie, hopefully, but still.
Yeah. It was fine.
Yeah.
A couple cousins were during the fight actually jumping up and animating everybody. And I'm not talking about my little cousins. These are the 30-year-olds doing this. So anyways, right before we go in the movies, my cousins gets everyone together. It's like, hey, everyone, let's get a head count real quick. We don't want to lose anybody. So she goes and counts. And then I'm just there sitting there. I'm like, oh, whatever. I'm like 16. Yeah. That's how many people were in this movie theater. 16 of us. Of them,
16 of you guys?
Of us.
And that was the whole theater, or?
It was most of it.
Okay.
So then we leave. We see the movie. Fantastic. One of my favorite movies of all time. We're leaving outside the theater like, hey.
Got to get back to the ship.
Got to go. Everyone gather up. Let's count. Okay. And then my cousin says, all right, 15. This is all of us. Let's go. And so I'm like, I thought there was 16 of us. But in my head, it's just like,
they're probably right.
They're kids. Yeah. Like I wasn't paying that much attention. So we're walking down the ship. We're walking down towards the ship. And my cousin gets a call. And it's from her son, who is 14 or 15 at the time. And she goes, hello. Oh, my God, Mikey, where are you? Huh. Okay, we're just a few blocks away. We're not going anywhere. You'll see us. Just keep walking. Kevin! And so she's like, oh, my God, we left Mikey at the movie theater. And someone said, well, what did he say? And she said, he screamed, I'm walking back to the effing ship. Which I still talk to him about this to this day. It's one of my favorite stories. Like, he's okay. It's fine.
Yeah.
But he was in the same room as me.
Where was he at the head count? Like, just
so he went to the bathroom.
Okay.
He's like, I'll go to the bathroom and catch up with him later. Yeah. Then he comes out and like
everybody's gone. Wow, mother of the year right there.
He's in the same room with me, and he comes in and just grabs his stuff, and it's just like, just like getting out. It's like, dude, it wasn't my fault. I'm not the one that miscounted you.
Gotta be mad at mom and dad, or at least mom, right?
And then he went and spent the rest of the time in his grandparents' suite, and that was my first cruise.
And that was that's also known as the Carmichael Dave cruise, or the cruise that you lost your cousin.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
that's memorable.
Also the cruise where I was an ugly American, but
we'll
have to save that. To the glorious wonderful people of Mexico.
Okay.
Fortunately, I can't tell that story on the
air. You can tell that one to me off the air. So kind of with that as a backdrop today on Thanksgiving Eve, I'm curious on your travel, like almost a roll call today on our YouTube. You going out of town? You on the road? I don't know if you are doing that on YouTube, but you might be watching that way. Certainly on our text line, 916-339-1140. How are you spending your Thanksgiving? Are you hitting the road already? How far do you have to go? Flying, train, bus, car? Let us know. I'd be very curious. And certainly you can dial us up, 1-800-920-1140. 916-339-1140. Certainly would love to know what's on the menu for tomorrow. I know Chris and I both looked at each other yesterday when Sean Salisbury was describing his Thanksgiving. I was like, oh.
What was that? There was some sort of jalapeno.
I don't know if he said cream corn, but jalapeno corn, something.
Or maybe jalapeno cream chicken, something like that.
Yeah, I know there was some sort of corn dish too. Yeah. That I was like, oh, okay. And to me, I don't know, Thanksgiving, that's sides is what it's at for me. It's always been. I'll eat some turkey, but that'll be primarily the smallest portion of my plate will be turkey.
Yeah.
Are you a turkey fan?
I think like everyone else, if it's done properly.
Yeah, exactly. And I think
the people that fry their turkeys, that's I think the best.
So I don't know how it happened. So my father-in-law years ago, RIP, taught me I'd never fried a turkey. I don't even know that I had really even seen one. I feel like that's a thing in the last 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
Because I don't remember that at all as a kid, like ever people talking about frying a turkey. So he did it one year and kind of showed me how to do it. And then, like, for whatever reason, now it's me that does it. And I've generally, everyone's like, I love it. This fried turkey's so great. And I was like, okay. Just followed his, because I usually have just like
just make sure you bring those sides.
Exactly. I'm here for the sides, everybody. And if fried turkey is done right, it is really juicy. You don't really need like tons of gravy or anything because it's works. But it's just, to me, it's everything about the sides. And that's what. Do you guys have a family tradition of sides or anything like that?
No.
Just standard, what kind of everybody does?
Yeah.
And do you have it at one house every year, or does it rotate?
It changes all the time.
That's probably good.
But then, like, it's also like the people change all the time because Christmas is our one, and then
Thanksgiving's different.
Thanksgiving's kind of like everybody else's.
Changes around,
Yeah.
but it's in town.
Sometimes.
Okay, but how far would you?
Like what I used to do, like growing up, we would go visit my great grandma in Grass Valley. So like that was on my dad's side. So we never really did that much with my mom's side. And then Christmas was always with my mom's side of the family.
Okay. So you have different options here. A couple people weighing in, leaving work today and staying home. Okay, that's fine. Staying home and playing golf all weekend. I like that. That's Jimmy. Menu, sushi, tacos, brisket, mashed potatoes, salad, mac and cheese. Okay. I'm not even here to judge anyone's menu. I think it's interesting to see what's the norm for you, what's different, what do you guys try to do, what do you accomplish on Thanksgiving. So again, text line 339-1140. You can call in at 1-800-920-1140 if you're starting a long journey. We appreciate that you're here with us. We got lots of sports to discuss today, but this is kind of the opening segment. I want to kind of feel where you're all going today. What's the vibe today? And if you're going, it's a busy day. Just get out there and be patient, as tough as that can be. And the good thing for me, Chris, and I guess everybody has this, but sometimes it's, I don't know. I guess I just love my family. I'm not in that situation where it's like, oh, Uncle blank is coming, or, oh, she's coming.
I think we're all like that, but you still love them.
Yeah.
I think like we all get on each other's nerves.
And maybe I'm the one that gets on their nerves. I don't think I am, but
the only reason why we keep inviting him is because he fries a turkey.
Exactly. He doesn't even realize it. He eats all the gumbo. He gets his own bowl because he says he's allergic to seafood. Some scam this guy has, and he'll fry the turkey. When's he leaving? Oh, good. He's got to leave tomorrow for a Kings game or Sacs. Good. Get him out of here. Dang it, Chris. Now I'm getting a complex. Maybe that's exactly what's going on, and I don't even know it. He always wants to play games. He's like, what's just go
What's
away.
This guy's deal, man?
No, he's not even really part of the family, is he? He's married in. Do we have to keep him here?
Alva's
going
pretty
somewhere
cool,
else.
So.
Yeah, we like Alva. We like Jackson, but what's this guy's deal? Dang it. It is me. Shoot. I'll evaluate myself during the break. When we come back, we've got leading off. That's next.
Keegan Murray plays here.
Keegan scores another three-pointer. Keegan Murray knocking it down for 23 points. Match De'Aaron Fox for game scoring honors.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
It's the season of performance event at Acura of Stockton. Elevate your driving experience with a vehicle that's built to impress. Lease a new Acura RDX or MDX. Acura of Stockton has a great selection of new Acuras and customer service that will exceed your expectations. Take luxury to a whole new level in a new Acura from Acura of Stockton or AcuraofStockton.com, where precision-crafted performance is at your fingertips.
Good Guys Heating and Cooling has a deal going on right now that you cannot miss. This summer was much shorter and cooler than normal, so that means Good Guys is overstocked and ready to clear out their warehouse. They've got inflation-busting pricing on a brand new heating and air system for just $82.99. No other company is offering a replacement system that low. Call Good Guys now at 530-GOOD-AIR to see if you qualify. That's 530-GOOD-AIR for a no-cost qualification appointment. Best service, best price, guaranteed. And that's no bull. License number 1057-618.
Let's do it. Leading off, the three top stories in the morning.
Huge news. This is very important.
Here's cut number one.
And another three ball has been knocked down by Brandon Ingram. And the Pelicans are just sailing off into the sunset. Malik Monk just attempted a three-point shot. It was blocked by Jones, and a foul on Malik in the process.
Well, I want to forget that game. The rematch tonight. Kings, Pelicans from New Orleans. Smoothie King, the blender, whatever they're calling it. Kings got to be much, 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 much better tonight. They're going to spend Thanksgiving in Minnesota. Don't you know? How's that? It's part of being an athlete. You got weird, quirky schedules. Holidays are all over the place. But yeah, the team will bond for a Thanksgiving feast in Minnesota on the eve of the final road in-season tournament cup game, and hopefully after a win against New Orleans.
I was thinking like, oh man, as a player, I'm like, man, I'd much rather have Thanksgiving in New Orleans than Minnesota. But as a fan, I'm like, thank God they're not in New Orleans. They're in Minnesota.
Yeah, they've been there long enough. They got there, let's see when. Well, they played Dallas Sunday, so they would have got there late night, Sunday night / Monday morning, but they played Monday, off day yesterday, day today. They're probably flying tonight, so they'll get to Minnesota tonight. Not as long as they were in Houston, but 2 games in 3 days. And Chris, they got to be better tonight, though, because that was stinky on the other day. So a revenge game for Sacramento. We're going to talk a lot about that coming up on the show today for her weekly visit. Katie Christensen, Kings TV analyst, will join us at 8. We'll look at the matchup with the Pelicans, and possibly some guys could be coming back, including one name we haven't seen yet all season. Some rumors about that. That's a possibility. We'll get into that today. Obviously, Kings and Pelicans again tonight, and we're all expecting a much better performance from Sacramento. All right, cut number 2.
Cut number 2.
First and 10 Niners, and they're 24. Purdy going to can the play here as 3 receivers right, Ayuk and Juszczyk left, going deep down the sideline for Ayuk. He's got it, and he's gone. 20, 10, 5, touchdown! San Francisco! Ayuk is on fire!
Hopefully there's more of those for the 49ers.
What if CMC throws a pass to Ayuk? What does Greg Papa do?
Oh, my gosh. They combust. They go on fire. Those guys between Papa and Tim Ryan, they were in sync right there. That was great. That's a good question because McCaffrey will throw a TD. It's going to happen. It's coming. And it might be tomorrow. 49ers, they're in Seattle for Thanksgiving.
Gross. There's only one place I could think of for a worse Thanksgiving.
St. Louis?
Yes.
So,
but I would think the food would be better in St. Louis than Seattle.
Your family tells you we're spending Thanksgiving in Seattle or in St. Louis, but like it's happening. Do you go?
No.
You say no.
Yeah. I have done Thanksgiving in St. Louis.
Okay. You just hate both of those cities.
Yes.
Absolutely despise them.
And I will say, to be fair to Seattle, I hate St. Louis, just all of St. Louis. In Seattle, I just hate the people.
Oh, that's being fair?
Yeah.
Oh, I hate you guys as people. City, it's
like
not great.
if there's like a
that's really fair.
If there's like a 28 days later situation where I'm in a coma, I wake up and there's nobody around and it's in Seattle, I'd be like, nothing could be better. This is great. This is fantastic.
The people are gone.
Yes.
Last man on earth type thing.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
That's right. I would spend most of my time in Seattle.
You would. So you like the city, just not the people.
I like the area. I just don't like the people.
We need to do a deeper dive on this story. I don't know what's going on with you in Seattle. Certainly you
They're
in St.
just
Louis.
Awful people.
Wow, just a full generalization of all of the people of Seattle.
The 2 people from Seattle, I don't think Tom is from Seattle. He's from Washington.
Okay. Yeah, I can't remember I don't think it's directly Seattle.
And would you give... Doug isn't technically from Seattle.
But I feel like it's close enough that he kind of claims Seattle, right?
And I love Doug.
Yeah.
And so, like, Doug's a great guy.
Yes.
But to be fair to my point, though, when I met Doug, he has already spent most of his life outside of Seattle.
So he can't change the narrative with the one, even though that's a pretty strong one to change your narrative. Doug's awesome.
Doug's great.
Yeah.
Love Doug.
Yeah. Have you told him your disdain for Seattle?
Yeah. So I had a friend recently who moved up to Seattle,
Mhm.
and she was like, "Hey, do you know any places about Seattle to go to?" I'm like, "I really don't, but I know a guy from Seattle. I'm sure he'll give me a great bunch of spots." I texted, I'm like, "Hey, my friend's moving to Seattle. No, we've kind of had this thing, blah, 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 ha, 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 ha. What would be some places to suggest for her to go to?" And he's like, "I'm not telling you."
Great. That's awesome, Doug. Stick to your guns. That's great. Well, the 49ers battle the Seahawks, part of a Thanksgiving Day triple header. We'll have all 3 games for you here on Sactown Sports, including the 49ers Seahawks. Look, I think we're all, I know I'll speak for myself. I'm impressed with what the Niners have done when they've been on. It's a game they need to win, though. No matter how it goes, even if it's an ugly game, it's going to be a tough atmosphere. Incredible fan base up there in Seattle. You got to give them that. That fan base loves their Seahawks, loves that vibe of being the 12th man, loves the status that, toughest place to play, one of the great stadiums with energy. So it's going to be tough for Brock Purdy and the 49ers. Purdy and the Niners beat him 3 times last year, remember? But swept regular season, won in the playoffs. So an important game for San Francisco starts that gauntlet of Seahawks, Eagles, Seahawks. And we'll talk more about that coming up on Niners at 9 with his weekly visit with Emil Fragoso, our 49ers insider from Sactown Sports. All right, let's squeeze in here one last one on cut number 3.
Cut number 3.
4-receiver formation, 2 in tight to each side. Beck flushed out to the left. Beck lobs it straight ahead. Touchdown! Marcus Rosemy-Jacksaint caught it at the 3 and turned around untouched and jogged into the end zone for the score.
That's a highlight from Georgia. The Georgia Bulldogs, by the way. I mean, look, I know it's not a completely college football area, but I don't even know if Georgia is being talked about enough. The win streak they're on, they're still number 1. Defending national champs. They haven't lost in forever. But there is a new shakeup in the college football top 4. We'll discuss that coming up. It's a huge weekend of college football. Rivalries that are continuing and some that we may see for the final time. I mean, just absolutely brutal what's going on with some of these rivalries in college football's realignment. We'll discuss that. Was asking a lot of you before we go to break about what you're doing, how you're spending your Thanksgiving. Have you started your travels? Let's see what we've got here. We've got from our guy Mike, took a red-eye flight to Newark, New Jersey, right after the Causeway, and I'm in New York, New Jersey area at a family member's house until Saturday evening. We've got other people wishing each other happy Thanksgiving Eve, questioning Minnesota for their food eats. So again, we're looking for what are your Thanksgiving plans, your travel routine. Where are you going? Are you on the road already? We know it's the busiest travel day out there, and give us a little hint on some of the Thanksgiving traditions that you have. Specifically, we're foodies. We're looking at your food items for Thanksgiving. When we come back, we mentioned that there's a new Final Four from the for the FBS, the playoff committee. We'll discuss that, Michigan, Ohio State week, and some other big news and notes from college football. We'll do that when we come back on Sactown Sports.
Local bragging rights are on the line this Sunday for the Causeway Classic of basketball.
Lost the handle, picked up by Milling, up ahead to Johnson, ahead of everybody, and then we are tied.
UC Davis hosts Sacramento State in the Causeway of Hoops.
Lee inbound to Johnson with 3 seconds. Johnson takes it straight to the rim. Layup, got it with 0.8 seconds to go. And the Aggies have done it.
Play-by-play begins Sunday at 5 on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It's Wednesday. We're looking at a cool start to the morning with some patchy areas of fog. Look for increasing clouds this afternoon. It'll be a dry day today with light winds. Highs will peak in the mid-60s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Shop Folsom Lake Kia for all your favorite models at low prices and payments, plus low finance rates and 0 down deals with approved credit. Go see my friends at Folsom Lake Kia right here in Sacramento for over 20 years.
What's holding you back from learning the language you've always wanted to know?
Too hard.
Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's lessons take just 15 minutes a day.
15 minutes isn't long.
Nope. And they're fun. So you don't realize you're learning a language, but you are. In 3 weeks, you're able to start having conversations. And Babbel's lessons are built around real life.
And with Babbel, it isn't hard.
It's perfect.
Now try Babbel free. Just go to Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Hey, what's up? We're talking to Chan Hoblet, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. What's happening for Chrysler's Black Friday sales event?
We just added even more savings. Now you can save up to $16,500 off MSRP on new 2023 Ram 1500 crew cabs with no payments for 90 days. And we have trucks starting as low as $29,995.
Wow. And what about the last of those Dodge muscle cars?
Right now, save up to $6,500 off MSRP on new 2023 Dodge Charger and Challenger GT and SXT with no payments for 90 days. And we even have thousands off MSRP on Scat Packs, Hellcats, and special editions too. And we're turning back the clock and saving you thousands with financing as low as 4.99% for 84 months on all new and used vehicles in stock.
See our full selection at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period. 16.5 total net savings after 11,000 factory rebates and 5,500 dealer discounts. Rebates include $1,000 case construction cash. Must have purchased eligible case equipment from qualifying dealer. 5 of the net savings. $29,995 truck number 123158. 65 total net savings after 2,500 factory rebates and 4,000 dealer discounts. Rebates include 500 first responder cash for eligible first responders only. No payments for 90 days on approved credit through Chrysler Capital. 4.99% for 84 months. OAC through Travis Credit Union. $14.15 per thousand borrowed.
Sactown Sports is home to the Kings, Niners, and now the business of sports. Hosted by Kelly Brothers and brought to you by Cap Trust, offering customized, independent financial advice at captrust.com. Join Kelly Brothers, Carmichael, Dave, and Jason as they look at the business of sports every Thursday at 7:40 a.m. You want to know how sports really work? Follow the money with Kelly Brothers from Cap Trust on Sactown Sports.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Everywhere you look, someone is always telling you how to get more fit. While we may feel like we're fit, we can all get fitter. Maybe you have a favorite pair of jeans that don't fit anymore, or maybe you just want to lower your blood pressure a bit. Here are a few suggestions. Walk more rounds, walk to work, walk to the store, walk the dog, but walk. Strengthening the most important muscles in the golf swing, your glutes. Even Tiger couldn't fire his. Buy a foam roller and knead the muscles of your body 3 times a week, especially your hips. You can do this while you watch television. Eat more vegetables, and potato chips and carrot cake don't count. Stabilize the muscles of your core by raking leaves or sweeping floors, and eliminate soda, especially the ones with artificial sweeteners. Maybe you'll be able to take a little bigger turn. Maybe you won't get tired around the 15th hole. Either way, you're going to be much happier with yourself. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
It's the Black Friday Sell-a-thon at Folsom Lake Ford with low prices, low finance rates, and a $500 Amazon gift card on selected vehicles. Now through Monday, shop your truck headquarters, Folsom Lake Ford. See dealer for details.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Right now, the sewer system is probably the last thing on your mind. And that's okay, because at the Sacramento Area Sewer District, it's our first priority. If you have a sewer problem like a slow drain or a backup, call us first. Day or night.
Prestigio Jewelers Black November sale is on all month long. Get amazing doorbuster deals while supplies last. 1 carat diamond earrings only $449. Wedding sets starting at only $899. 70% off gold chains and much more. Get quick and easy credit approval and low monthly payments at Prestigio Jewelers. No credit, bad credit, even bankruptcy, you're approved. Prestigio Jewelers guarantees your credit up to $10,000. Shop designer brands such as Cartier, Gucci, Bulova, and Citizen. Visit us today or online at prestigiojewelers.com. See store for details.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sactown Sports.
Coming up in our next segment, we'll have our final visit with UC Davis head coach Dan Hawkins. Aggies won the Causeway should be playing this weekend. I know the coach thinks that. I thought they'd be in, but we will look back at a season where they beat their rivals, really, Sac State and Cal Poly. Got 7 wins. Probably felt like they did enough to get in. Also, Land Larison, the Big Sky Offensive Player of the Year. So we'll talk with Dan Hawkins, also get some of his perspective on some college football news and notes that we got coming up here. A couple other things to tie up before we get into our next segment here. Someone on the 209 on our text line at 339-1140 asks, Dave Richards this week? No, unfortunately, we won't have Dave this week. We are usually he's slotted in on Fridays, and we're off tomorrow and Friday. So,
but how about you ask us your questions?
Yeah.
And then just do the opposite of what.
That's right, 209. If you got a fantasy question, Chris and I, we play. I'm not sure we're experts, but we can offer our insight.
This season, I am definitely not an expert.
Yeah, I'm a solid 4-6, 4-7, something like that in a couple of my leagues. So I play. I can give you input. May not work. Or to Chris's point, you can take the opposite. Let's see. Our guy Ryan says on Thanksgiving, we're having Thanksgiving in our new home and using their Amy Ace Hardware Ironwood 800 Traeger to smoke a turkey for the first time. All right. Good luck with that.
Is he trying to get a sponsorship?
I don't know. He's mentioning all the elements there. All right. So this weekend, college football, it's a huge weekend because you've got Michigan, Ohio State, and seemingly these two now, they're always seemingly both undefeated when this game comes around. But what makes me sad about this weekend too is you've got Oregon State playing that. Is that one on Friday? Let me see. Yeah, they play Friday. Arizona and Arizona State are going to the same conference, but Washington State are also playing on Saturday. The Apple Cup up there, the Civil War for Oregon State. And the problem is, Chris, they're separating. They're going to different conferences. And I feel like this is they may still schedule each other. They may not. I don't know that UCLA wanted to go to the Big Ten, but once SC did, UCLA had to. Otherwise, they're just left in the dust. And
go ahead.
Yeah, Arizona State going together to the Big 12. This whole realignment's weird, but some of these rivalries are going away. And that's, to me, part of the charm of college football. It's been around so long, is the rivalries.
The thing I hate about this, and when players started getting money, everyone was just like, oh, this is disgusting. This is the death of college sports, blah, 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 blah. All these schools care about is money the entire time.
Right.
And you're trying to tell the students,
right,
you can't have a piece of this because you're students.
Yeah.
And it just...
to me, it's the walking contradiction, because you're right. I think... especially college football, it's 100% about the money. And
yes.
I'm not saying that's right or wrong, but admit that. Stop doing the student athlete. Yes, there's portions of people that are going to school to get a degree that want to just keep playing college football, but that's not what's happening at Alabama.
State, UC Davis.
Of course. And they're like, look, I was good in high school. I'd like to still play. If this leads to more football for me later, awesome. But likely I'm playing 2 to 3 years at this school, hopefully getting a degree and moving on with my life. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But I think the majority of college sports are in that, quote, air quotes, student athlete. You're playing golf. You're on the tennis team. You're in track, volleyball. Nothing wrong with any of that. But you just wanted to continue playing. It's a sport you love. You're good at it. If it can help you get a degree, more power to you. But college football is trying to walk that line of, we're not a business. Oh, you 100% are a business. You 100% are. And just admit that, go for that, play it that way. And then the rest of us aren't. I mean, we still might be bothered by it, but that's what you're doing. I know Dion just had the quote, we're not going to be an ATM. You're not coming here if you're just looking for money. Yeah, a lot of people are.
Here's the absolute disgusting thing, too. The reason why they can't say that they are a business is because then they would have to start paying taxes.
Exactly. The NCAA. But what are they looking for? The next biggest TV deal. That's why they're, trying to grow the college football tournament, the playoff, into a larger field. Why? Because more games, more exposure, more money, more chances at revenue, more bites at the apple here. And, I'm not naive enough to think that, that none of that other stuff goes on, but I try to appreciate it for the head-to-head, the game. UCLA versus USC, Michigan versus Ohio State. Who's going to win? What's the strategy? Who made the big play? What's the mistake that cost the team a game? Yeah, I get what it means for each university, but as much as it's the band, the cheerleaders, the atmosphere, the rivalry, the history, that's what I've always appreciated and loved. Now, that can all still go on, but when you start moving conferences like that, did we have the last, what was it earlier this year, Oklahoma and Texas, the Red River Shootout, whatever it is. You've got, like I said, Oregon State. One's going to the Big Ten. The other's whatever the Pac-2 is going to turn into kind of the Mountain West. They could still schedule each other, but now is it maybe not the last game of the year and doesn't have the same kind of zip and pop that it used to. That's the stuff that I think is the charm to me, Chris, of college football. It's still kind of there, but we're losing it, I think, year by year.
Yeah, and I don't know how it changes.
I thought, and I think other coaches have said this would be my idea, not that I'm the first one to suggest it. I think you make football like football-only conferences and just admit, like, this is a big business enterprise. You could maybe try to do that too with college basketball, but it makes zero sense for Cal tennis to be going to the ACC and playing Wake Forest.
Yeah.
They should be playing West Coast teams, keep the Pac-12 of the non-football, maybe even college basketball sports, and track should be here.
I mean,
volleyball.
Notre Dame did that. They were they were
Independent
independent,
football.
but then the basketball, they were Big East, or then they went to the ACC. So, I mean, it's something that they could do if they want to.
Yeah, there's work. I'm not saying it's easy, but again, I just don't think, Rutgers coming out to UCLA to play volleyball. If you schedule that as a non-league, you do that. But I just think regionalizing the sports for costs. For now, we're back to that's not fair to the swimmer that has to go cross country. Wait, they're student athletes. Now you're playing both sides of the fence here. Are you or are you not? And I think that's where the NCAA is guilty of kind of leaning that way in some of the sports. But in football, it's like, oh no, well, we gotta have Michigan playing, USC, because I mean, look at the eyeballs they're gonna be out. We got the LA market. We got Michigan. This is a powerhouse. But it's not fair for the tennis. I mean, I don't know. We're all over the place with that. So anyway, all that being said, there was a new college football committee reveal, and there was a switch. Florida State, I feel for Dave, that's his team, his school. They still could get in. We know a lot of things change here in this last weekend, and certainly in the conference championship weekend. I don't know whether it was the injury to their quarterback, but they didn't lose. But Washington leapfrogged them. They get in the top four. There's still going to be some movement in that. And obviously in the top four, you got Michigan and Ohio State, and they play each other this weekend. So I think that sets up for great drama. Saturday morning, 9:00. Love that game. Gets off right out of the chute. Ohio State at Michigan, both 11-0. And I think they've had that now several times. I remember, might have been in the early 2000s, they were both undefeated, and it was already labeled the game of the century. Like, well, we got 100 years of football ahead. But
do we?
Well, good point. I don't know if we do. But here we are again. Second straight year. They're both undefeated going into this game. And here we go. Ohio State. And who's even favored in that game? Oh, Michigan by 3. So
everyone's against them.
Everyone is against them. All right, we will break here. When we come back, we'll have our final visit with UC Davis head football coach Dan Hawkins. We'll get his perspective on how he feels. I have a pretty good idea, but got to ask him those tough questions about really what they did. They set themselves up to get in the postseason, and they were left out. The unfortunate news that for them. We will talk to Dan Hawkins. That is next on Sactown Sports.
Will Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers brass go all the way this season? Could the Niners win their first Super Bowl since 1995? Join us throughout the season to hear all the games and all the analysis on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
As we come together to celebrate the end of this long, long year, Stockton Honda has savings to bring us all cheer. Happy Honda Day savings and selection galore. Stockton Honda's online express purchase and great people give you more.
Save on 400 new Hondas at Stockton Honda during Happy Honda Days. Shop in person or online with our express purchase option.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com. Thunder, feel the thunder.
It ignites something inside of you.
Lightning and the thunder.
Sets alight an elevated state of being. Days are pure exhilaration. And the nights, they're simply electric. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
Winter is coming. I know you know that, but are you prepared to keep your family warm all season long? At American Energy Heating and Air, their goal is to exceed your expectations of the heating and air industry by valuing the customer experience and making your home comfort system as efficient as possible for the most value. So book your $49 furnace tune-up and safety inspection today. Prevent dangerous gas leaks. Extend the life of that furnace and save on your energy bills. And here's the guarantee. This isn't a sales call. They're not getting in the door so they can try to sell you a bunch of stuff. No, they're just going to do what they say they're going to do. Call today to schedule an appointment at 916-520-9990 or go to AmericanEnergyAir.com. Been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A-plus Better Business Bureau rating. Get your $49 furnace tune-up and safety inspection today. 916-520-9990. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
This is the moment you've been waiting for. Hanley's Kia in Davis is bringing you an unbeatable deal on all 2024 Kia models. Drive home in style without breaking the bank. Introducing Hanley's Kia incredible leasing option for just $199 a month. Picture yourself behind the wheel of a brand new 2024 Kia, loaded with the latest features and cutting-edge technology. Whether it's the sleek Niro Hybrid with 54 mpg, an EV6 with up to 310 miles, the versatile Sportage, or the family-friendly Telluride. At Hanley's Kia, you can also reserve your luxurious full-size EV9 with 3 rows that has the comfort of a stylish interior and the peace of mind that comes with driving a brand you can trust. Head over to Hanley's Kia today, located in Davis.
New 2024 Kia Niro Hybrid EX for $199 per month for 36 months after $7,999 customer cash due at signing plus $300 military customer rebate. 10,000 miles per year and 20 cents per mile after 30,000 miles based on sale price $30,545 and payment excludes taxes and DMV fees and any dealer fees. Vehicle ID number R5136138.
I was in foot pain for 20 years, trying to give it relief, buying all these different insoles, drugstore insoles, custom insoles. I spent thousands of dollars. I bought all these products and not a single one worked. I really, truly needed to have relief in my feet. And the Good Feet arch supports were what gave me the relief I needed.
For over 20 years, we've been helping people like Teresa actually live the life they love without their feet getting in the way.
They wanted to make sure that I got something that my feet felt good in, not somebody else's feet. I love the fact that I can wear these arch supports in all my shoes. I have boots, I have cowboy boots, I have running shoes, I have walking shoes, I have flat shoes, I have heels. Makes me so happy. If you ask my husband, he will crack up because there is no store I would rather go in than a shoe store. I'm Teresa, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Knee, hip, foot, leg, or back pain? Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and back.
Sactown Sports.
Joe, back here on the show. Jason Ross here with you. Chris Verlade running the operations as always. Thank you, Chris. Carmichael Dave off this week. Enjoying the Thanksgiving holiday. Back in full force next week. And now each and every Wednesday at this time, we get a chance to check in with the head coach of your UC Davis Aggies. Let's bring in Dan Hawkins here on the show. Coach, how are you this morning?
Happy Thanksgiving, boys.
Happy Thanksgiving to you. What's the Hawkins Thanksgiving look like normally?
I got my daughter down here from Portland and her kids, which is awesome. My wife a few years ago decided that the best way to do it was to divide up responsibilities. So I am the pie man. I am the master pie man. I do make the pies from scratch. So perfected that craft. I think we're actually going to do it today because everybody wants to eat leftovers. The leftover tradition on Thursday, and my daughter's leaving on Friday, so she won't get leftovers. So I think we're going to start it a day early, but I will be working on the pies here shortly.
All right, so what's the pie of choice? Which one have you perfected, or do you make multiples?
Well, I do make a pumpkin pie, but the apple pie is that's my favorite, and that's my specialty. So,
nice.
Yeah, I can whip up a mean apple pie.
Nice. I know you would have preferred to be prepping this week, and I got to be honest with you, Coach. I thought you would be after what you did on Saturday. Let's go back to the game first because you guys played really, really well. Your defense was spot on. Land Larison, I mean, that guy is just out of this world. When the game ended, did you believe you were going to the FCS playoffs?
Well, I got to be honest with you now. Last year, I thought we would go. We didn't. So, in this deal, there's always some up for debate. So did you felt like you should go or would go? Yeah, but do you think you're going to go? You don't know because, hey, there's politics and agendas and people. Anytime you have a committee, good luck. So I really did not know. I mean, I felt like we should go, but I had no clue.
Yeah, and you had a couple of different times with your team. So I'm curious, you end the game, there's a thrill, you beat your rival, you get to 7 wins, you finish hot. I'm sure you were proud of the guys then. I know you then had the banquet the next day, probably watched the selection show. So I'm curious maybe what you told the guys Saturday, kind of, look, it's out of our hands, but we've done what we could, versus then Sunday, the next time you gather, when you realize, man, I feel like we got jobbed on this. But what was kind of the messaging from Saturday then to after Sunday when you realized, unfortunately, you weren't in?
Well, the whole message really from the, from the middle of the season to our guys, let's just be finishers. I know it's altruistic. It sounds corny, but okay, everybody wants to win. Everybody wants to win all that. But how about let's just represent ourselves and play hard and be a finisher and do things right and be proud of yourself and look in the mirror and feel like you did it right. So the fact that we won out and won 3 in a row there at the end, I was really happy for our guys and something they could hang their hat on because, as you know, in life, they're going to get their teeth kicked in, and I hope they look back and kind of go, hey, I just got to get up, put my shoes on, go to work, and we'll get through this. So that was, I thought, a lesson really well learned. On Sunday, obviously, you kind of have the wind sucked out of you. Mm-hmm. But life's not fair, and neither is football. And I know we live in a world where we want to point the finger at everybody else, but, I mean, the reality is if I would have coached better in the 3 games during the season, we wouldn't have been in that spot. So we kind of have to own that portion of it as well. So should we have been in? Yeah, but we were not. So we can blame everybody else however we want, but the people in life that get up and get on, man, they own their existence. And the sooner you quit blaming your teacher and your mom and your coach and your everybody else and just own your existence, you're probably going to get up and get on in life.
Yeah, it's interesting when I read everything I could about it. I saw the selection show. I heard the rationale, but one thing I found kind of ironic was, Coach, when they were saying, well, UC Davis didn't play Montana State or Idaho. Well, that's 100% out of your hand. I mean, I felt like you got punished for a schedule that you guys didn't create, which I found odd.
Well, yeah, it's like I said, life is not fair. You look at last year, we played the eventual national championship and lost by 2 on the road.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody counted that. They didn't count that. So, they used it both ways. I mean, we knocked the dog out of Idaho last year, but in order to get Montana in the playoffs, they had to put Idaho in because they beat Montana. So there's always those issues that go on. And I think in this case, people had the bracket already set up on Friday and just, unable to kind of get it to move. But I mean, you show me an instance where you beat somebody head to head, you have a better league record and you have the same record, and you don't go. I think that devalues the process a little bit. But that, like I said, it's not fair, but there's a lot of things in life that aren't fair. So get up and get on with it. I mean, my dad must have told me that a million times when I was a kid, son, football's not fair. Neither's life. You got to control what you can control, and that's all you can do. So.
Yeah. Coach, we're talking with Dan Hawkins here on the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline, the head coach of the UC Davis Aggies. So first time I had a chance to see, or this year at least, Land Larison in person. My goodness. You know it. You've talked to us about him every week, basically. What a treat it must be to not only watch him play, but to coach him, because he is an absolute stud. He gets the Big Sky Offensive Player of the Year, and he had quite a Saturday. I know he had quite a season, too. He's amazing to watch, Coach.
He's an unbelievable kid. He really is. You just can't believe how humble he is and how hardworking he is. super tough guy, comes from a rodeo family, and his uncle was Cody Pickett, who played for the Niners. He could play a lot of positions on the field. I mean, I really jumped on the table. He is the best player in the Big Sky, and he's just a phenomenal kid, phenomenal player, unbelievably tough, loved by his teammates. Yeah, he's a special kid. I felt bad for some of the other guys. Again, this is how it goes. We had the second best defense in the league, but we had one first-team defensive guy, and we had a slew of second-team guys. And I'm going, well, we played better than all these other defensive teams, but somehow our guys are on second team. But, what are you going to do? It is what it is.
Well, what's next, Coach? It never ends. I know recruiting is like the hot time for recruiting. That's coming up here in early December. But what's next on the immediate agenda for you and UC Davis football?
Yeah, so this week there's a couple of evaluation days. We've kind of used most of those. There's a couple left. So everybody's kind of doing the Thanksgiving thing. Next week it's dead, so you cannot go out. So we'll be in talking to the kids, getting ready for next year. And then we'll have a recruiting weekend the next, 3 weekends in December. And then we have an early signing date. We have an amazing class lined up right now that we feel really excited about. So that's where we'll go get our guys to finish up strong in the classroom, and we'll reset and start all over again.
Yeah, there's such a rhythm to the season. I think everybody's got the eyes on a team during that time. Is the season, I don't want to say easier, but since there's kind of practice, day off, whatever, film, game, rinse, repeat, is the off season busier or more work? Kind of, how does that go for a coach?
It definitely is busier because you're gone a lot. You're on a lot of planes. You're, in some cases, gone on the weekends. A lot of guys go out Sunday night, come back Friday morning, have recruits in, get lined up, get ready to go, kiss your wife, say hi to your kids, get back on the plane Monday. So there's a lot of moving parts that way for sure.
Any fun trips? Do you get away at all with the family?
We won't do a lot. No, we'll do Christmas, but yeah, really a football coach's season is you go through the first Wednesday in February, which is always signing date. So you don't exhale, and when the season gets over with, you have to inhale and, get on your bicycle and ride hard till signing date. Now, usually when February comes, you can let your hair down a little bit. And it's funny, I usually get a little sick sometimes right after signing date because your body kind of knows, hey, it's shutdown time here. But yeah, most coaches, they stay geared up through the season through recruiting.
For your conference, you had 4 teams in. We know the 5th should have been you guys in there, but between Idaho, Sacramento State, Montana got the 2 seed. Any chance any of those teams as the last one standing in this tournament?
Well, Montana State's been there before, and obviously Montana has kind of made a run here. I think it all revolves around your defense and your running game, and hey, it's a whole new season, so who knows? But I mean, both Montana and Montana State have been geared up and poised for that. I think Idaho's played very good football this year, and then who knows? Andy may get his team going, and yeah, it's a whole new season. But I think you'd have to lean on Montana and Montana State just because they've been there before, been through it, kind of know the rigors of it.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Coach, we appreciate your time all season long with us. And best of luck on mastering the pies, the apple pie, the pumpkin pie today, and the leftovers this week. And we look forward to doing this again next season.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Appreciate it. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thanks, you too. Happy Thanksgiving to the head coach of the UC Davis Aggies, Dan Hawkins, the pie man. Who knew? Coach can get some work done there in the kitchen. Yeah, I mean, he said it. I'd rather hear from him. I said it yesterday. I thought UC Davis would be in. I thought they should be in. It is a committee, and when you're at the mercy, that's the thing with the sports that are judged. That's why there's so much controversy in college football or in a judgment sport, boxing, MMA, right? Where there's judges that are weighing, and different people see things differently, different opinions on it. The sports that have a defined ranking or defined placement into the postseason, you win your division with the most wins, you are in. Pretty easily solved. Wild card meets this criteria. It's not a ranking. And again, we've said this before, but if you try to do this process right now in the NFL, where it didn't matter if you were winning the NFC West or the AFC West or whatever, but it was a group of people trying to pick the playoff teams, it would be different and might be better, might be worse. But for college football to not have, I mean, there are automatic qualifiers for the FCS that if you win the Big Sky, for example, like Montana did, they're in. But the other teams are at large, and you got a committee, and it's different opinions, different views. I'm sure a ton of people looked at the head-to-head for Sac State and UC Davis, where Davis won. Others may have been comparing other things, non-conference games. It's just there's different criteria, and that's where this whole thing can be subjective and leave teams like UC Davis, unfortunately for them, out of the picture. All right, when we come back, we've got the 7 o'clock hour coming up. In the hour, we'll have 3 for Madness. We'll have a look at the Kings and Pelicans, but when we come back, we got a triple header tomorrow. Thanksgiving feast, 3 NFL games, including the 49ers. We'll discuss that next.
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division title, GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, All-Stars and All-NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox, the breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out. Each and every Sacramento Kings game can be heard right here on your proud home of the Beam team, Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Start planting your garden this weekend with Bonnie 11.8-ounce vegetables. Buy 4 for $10. Plus, liven up your patios and decks with fresh blooms. Select 1.5-gallon hanging baskets or 2 for $20. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. In-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Elk Grove Honda.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It's Wednesday. We're looking at a cool start to the morning with some patchy areas of fog. Look for increasing clouds this afternoon. It'll be a dry day today with light winds. Highs will peak in the mid-60s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
At Elk Grove Honda, we see every Honda buyer as a member of the family, so we make sure every lower-priced certified pre-owned Honda is one we'd buy from ourselves. See our selection of certified pre-owned Hondas in the Elk Grove Auto Mall or online at elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. The IRS just rolled out a new program to help struggling taxpayers more easily resolve their tax problems. It's called the Taxpayer Relief Initiative, and it opens up powerful new options for people looking to get back on the right track with the IRS. And no one knows this program like the professionals at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution company. They've resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients and have the expertise and experience to help you. One easy call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries of wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Make today the beginning of your fresh start with the IRS. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief now for your free confidential consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hey, what's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet, a Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. What's happening for Chrysler's Black Friday sales event?
Right now, save up to $17,500 off MSRP when you lease a new 2023 Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xe. I've been in the business my entire life, and I've never seen savings like this on one of America's favorite SUVs.
Wow. Almost $20,000 off MSRP is pretty awesome. What about those Jeep Wranglers?
You can save over $16,000 off MSRP when you lease a new 2024 Jeep Wrangler Willys 4xe. And yes, I did say 2024s, and I did say Willys. At Hoblet, we're working to save you money on what you want, not last year's leftovers.
If you want a new Jeep, there's only one place to go. Plus, get 4.99% financing only at Hoblet Dodge. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period. 17.5 total net savings on lease only after 14.5 factory rebates and 3,000 dealer discounts. 16,000 total net savings after 13 factory rebates and 3,000 dealer discounts. Rebates include 7,500 federal tax credit subject to change without notice. 5 at each net savings. Special 4.99% financing for 84 months on approved credit through Travis Credit Union. Must have 740 plus FICO score to qualify and be eligible for membership. 14.15 per thousand financing dealer for details.
What's holding you back from learning the language you've always wanted to know?
Too hard.
Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's lessons take just 15 minutes a day.
15 minutes isn't long.
Nope. And they're fun. So you don't realize you're learning a language, but you are. In 3 weeks, you're able to start having conversations. And Babbel's lessons are built around real life.
And with Babbel, it isn't hard.
It's perfect.
Now try Babbel free. Just go to Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
At Ashton & Price, we get injury victims to yes. Experience, yes. Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years. No more insurance companies? Yes. Our clients focus on getting better, and we handle all the rest. Results? Yes. We've collected over $100 million for injury victims. No fee until we win? Yes. Our clients pay nothing until we win. Ashton & Price, the best at getting to yes. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
O'Reilly. Protect your engine better with Syntec Full Synthetic High Mileage Motor Oil, only at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Syntec High Mileage is formulated for today's engines with over 75,000 miles. Now get 5 quarts of Syntec High Mileage and a MicroGuard Select oil filter for just $34.99. Limit supply. Visit O'Reilly Auto Parts for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
It's the Black Friday Sell-a-thon at Folsom Lake Ford with low prices, low finance rates, and a $500 Amazon gift card on selected vehicles. Now through Monday, shop your truck headquarters, Folsom Lake Ford. See dealer for details.
Prestigio Jewelers Black November sale is on all month long. Get amazing doorbuster deals while supplies last. 1-carat diamond earrings only $449. Wedding sets starting at only $899. 70% off gold chains and much more. Get quick and easy credit approval and low monthly payments at Prestigio Jewelers. No credit, bad credit, even bankruptcy, you're approved. Prestigio Jewelers guarantees your credit up to $10,000. Shop designer brands such as Cartier, Gucci, Bulova, and Citizen. Visit us today or online at prestigiojewelers.com. See store for details.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, KHTK-AM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento, the only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Sactown Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael.
All our guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Thanks again to Dan Hawkins, head coach of the UC Davis Aggies, who joined us to close out the last hour. 1 hour from now, we'll head to New Orleans. Check in with the TV analyst of your Sacramento Kings, Katie Christensen, her weekly visit.
Man, she is just a saint.
She is.
4 hours yesterday.
And right back at it today.
Right back at it. Game tomorrow, or today.
Yeah. She's a gamer.
Then flying to Minnesota, missing Thanksgiving with family, then calling another game.
It's the job title. It's in the job. That's tough. She knew it as an athlete too. Just weird. I think that's, and now that you've been in this long enough too, Chris, I'm sure you've had people that ask you, how much do you love your job, or like what does it take to get in the job? The one thing I remember from, I was like at a broadcaster camp years and years and years ago, and I think the guy's not even in the NBA anymore.
Okay, weirdo, party of one.
I was trying to figure out, I want to get in this business. How do I do it? But there was a guy, and I can't remember his name now, but he was at that time voice of the Philadelphia 76ers. So this would have been in the early 90s. And I remember interviewing, like we would have to practice interviewing like on camera, just all sorts of different things. And one of the things he said about the job, he said, look, there are way, way, way more perks. But if you really want to be in this, you have to realize there are a lot. He goes, the worst part is just the weird hours. And really, I think what he meant by it is not like a morning show is weird hours. More like you might have to work Thanksgiving or Christmas or New Year's or be away from it just depends on what.
Also on the East Coast, and this is something like didn't even realize, like, oh man, when the Celtics play the Kings, they're starting at 10 p.m.
Yeah. So if they were, you know what? I'm doing pre-half and post here. And for today's game, for example, it's not that weird to come in at 4:30 to do a pregame. But if you're flipping that and you're doing a pregame, 9:30 postgame in Boston or in New York, and you're like, the Kings and Knicks wrap up, and
knowing people aren't watching.
Yeah, it's 1 a.m. when you're starting your post game. Like watching TNT all the time and seeing Ernie and Shaq, and they're all used to it in Atlanta. But you're like, man, this game ended like 10:45 here, 11, and they're all doing a post game. There's 2 a.m. But that's what you do. That's some of the either the perks or the sometimes the negatives of the job, but it's what we signed up for. We know it. We appreciate it.
That's a respectable job.
I agree. And what we also signed up for is a triple header now on Thanksgiving. Tomorrow, 3 NFL games. Packers, Lions.
I'll be here.
Hey, Chris, committed to the job, will be here. Packers, Lions, Commanders, Cowboys, and then 49ers, Seahawks. They left the varsity for last. That's the varsity game. For the large part of history, we've had the Lions. And there was even debate for years, like, well, should we take the Lions off the Thanksgiving? They're not any good. Well, now they are. And it's funny, it would have been Packers, Lions in the past. Like, oh, well, I'll watch Brett Favre or I'll watch Aaron Rodgers. And the Lions are there. And then Cowboys, they're always kind of relevant enough. And they're a good team this year. Commanders aren't very good. And then the 49ers, Seahawks, obviously a battle for first in the NFC West. So it's a big game. Are you generally, Chris, over the years, do you have Thanksgiving football memories? Do you watch a lot of the games, or is it just kind of a background thing on Thanksgiving?
It's definitely background.
Yeah, I would say it's background. It's usually always on, and then,
the morning game is the one, like, I'm not even going to say full attention, but most attention. Yeah.
Because I think probably, at least out here, West Coast, most people, Cowboys kick time is 1:30. I don't know when people's Thanksgiving meal time is, but it feels like.
And why is that? Why are we eating at 3 in the afternoon?
I don't know, but isn't that kind of the sweet? It's seeming like, we're going to eat early. Not even early. Dinner's at 3. And it's like, when is it ever at 3? When? But is it at 3 so that one family members leave later or, can leave after? Or is it so that you can have kind of the second meal at 7 or something or 8?
And it's not really a meal. You're just
like,
picking at stuff.
I still want some more potatoes or. Give me some of that stuffing.
It's rarely with a plate.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, there's still a little nibble of turkey here or something.
You can take this biscuit, fill some mashed potatoes.
And it's always bread, right? Bread's a filler, but man, is it good. So tomorrow, Packers and Lions, as far as the landscape of that, Detroit 8-2. They're good at home, 4-1. They stole that game this last week, coming from behind to beat the Chicago Bears. So you got Packers and Lions. Packers. And Lions, what do we got there? Detroit's favored by 7.5. Commanders and Cowboys at 1:30, and then of course the encore, the main course, I should say. 49ers and Seahawks, big game. Purdy has owned the Seahawks so far. They swept them last year with a playoff win as well. Really need this win though. Tough place to play in Seattle. We'll talk a little bit more of that as the show rolls along. But let's check in with our guy JR. JR, good morning, you turkey.
Hey, you're the turkey guy, turkey.
Yes.
I went to the Stockton Kings game last night. It was a freaking blast.
Were you heckling Deuce and Mo?
Oh, I walked over to, so at halftime I make a full sprint. Deuce runs to the bathroom, of course.
Of course.
Mo runs over to get her free popcorn. Oh, God, yeah.
They're avoiding you.
But I guess this is the second time I went, but this time we just stay on the court. It's so fun, man. You can talk to the refs and the players. Anyway.
Did you play?
Very good time out there. Huh?
Did you play?
I think they wanted me in, but I was like not suited up properly. So
gotcha.
There's a couple guys on the Lakers team that they were on fire. Anyway,
we hate
very
them.
fun.
Yeah,
we do hate them. It was fun. I go, I hate you. I don't care if it's West Side, South Side, L.A., whatever Laker team you're from. We don't like you.
Yes.
Give thanks, except for you. Hey, yeah, what is up with the early 3 o'clock? You race over there, and then everyone's eating at 3. You're like, wait. Why are you guys all eating already? What's going on here?
Is this lunch or dinner? What are we doing? Why is Thanksgiving at a weird? It seems like it's between 2 and 4.
It's luncher.
Yeah,
lunchy. Let's keep
Exactly.
And I love always having the relative, and I've turned into my own uncle because I sit there and I fall asleep.
Oh, you do?
You know,
At least,
oh, God.
hopefully it's after you've eaten, not before.
Well, I usually it's twice. I eat, as I'm eating, and then after, and then like you said, wake up and shove some more food in my mouth about 11 o'clock. So, but huge Niner game, huge. It'll be so much fun to see us win up there and be able to party on their field like they did to us about 8 years ago. That sucked.
There you go. So, they own one.
Very excited. Yes, we do. You guys have a great Thanksgiving. You rock. Bye-bye.
Thank you, JR. Happy Thanksgiving to you. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone out there.
Double, folks.
Niners, Seahawks, 5:20 tomorrow. The game can be heard. All three of those games can be heard right here on Sactown Sports. Yeah, it's an important game. It really is for the 49ers. As we said, for Seattle, a win for them. They obviously have the front end of the tiebreaker. They would have taken a 1-0 series lead on the 49ers. They would have tied them record-wise. They've got some injury issues. 49ers have some things that, in a short week is always tricky for these guys. Nobody likes to play on Thursdays anyway. But here was kind of the mood from Seattle this last weekend after their disappointing loss to the Rams.
This was the most disappointing loss for us today because of the way we did it. And we made it really hard on ourselves so many times in this game with the calls that were made. And I'm not disputing any of them. I'm just saying we made the penalties that happened were just out of line for us. And we have not been good in that area during the season in general. And today really blew up on us.
All right, that's Pete Carroll. As far as Brock Purdy, here's how he was feeling after the game on Sunday.
I was more upset with not even like that we were complacent or anything, but almost like, we're just going to walk into the game and it's going to be given to us in a sense. Like I had to get back to, man, we got to go take it. We got to go earn it every single game. It doesn't matter who we're playing. It's the NFL. Anything can happen on any Sunday. And so that's like the chip that I was talking about.
All right, Brock Purdy and the 49ers on the road tomorrow against Seattle. Break time for us. When we come back, it's brought to you by Fire Wings. 3 questions, 3 answers. It's kind of a mystery to me. Chris has this today. I'm a tad nervous on this. We've got it coming your way next.
The San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks square
if you've got your things going well and they do, can you beat them based on what they've got? And I felt like it was a little bit of a matchup thing with how big their front court is and what kind of things they can match the Kings with. But I didn't love the way the Kings played. So if the Kings play well, I think they can be in this game and have a chance to get it done. And I'm sure they're embarrassed. I know De'Aaron wasn't involved in the Houston just mess that they had the last time they played 2 games in the same city because the second game was worse. So I think the Kings are going to be in this and have every chance to win. So I hope you're right. I hope it is the perfect trap game for the Pelicans. But I'm rooting for the Kings, obviously, tonight. Let's get back on track for Sacramento. All right,
Question 2.
Stephen A. Smith had an interesting take last night. Would you like to hear?
Of course I would like to hear this.
All right. Let me just press the right button.
Danny, in Wisconsin, you're live with Stephen A. What's up, Danny? Talk to me.
Stephen A. Smith, when you think about the GOAT of sports, you think about Mike with 6, Brady with 7 rings. But where do you rank a guy like Lightning McQueen with 7 Piston Cups?
I would tell you he wouldn't be the GOAT. How are you going to be the GOAT? Because you talk about the movie Cars, right? You talk about the movie Cars, right? I mean, when you talk about Stripper King Weathers and Lightning McQueen, they're both tied with 7 Piston Cups. Strip Weathers, you forgot about him? How can you be the GOAT? You got somebody that's tied with you? You got somebody that's tied with you? Sorry, that ain't gonna work. I know you tried to catch me with that. You didn't think I knew that about that. You didn't think I knew about Cars, did you?
When you think about Lightning McQueen, it's not just 7 Piston Cups. He's got 28 circuits. He got 28 circuits under his belt too.
Strip Weathers has 7 Piston Cups. I am not about to sit here and argue with a grown-ass man about the movie Cars.
Oh, come on now,
Strip Weathers has 7 Piston Cups. You should have brought me somebody that didn't have as many Piston Cups.
Old engine cars.
Yo, man.
You talk about guy Lightning McQueen. That's like comparing him to Jerry West era. You can't.
Danny, how old are you?
I'm 21, Stephen.
You're 21. Okay, well, you're still a young man. You're a young man. What about Fast and Furious? You watched that movie?
Yeah, Fast and Furious.
Did you like? Which one did you like better? 5, 6, or 7? I mean, 8, 9, and 10 are good too. But which one did you like better? 5, 6, or 7? Because I like 5 to 7.
5.
You like 5? That was with Vin Diesel and The Rock going at it when The Rock was trying to hunt him down and all of that other stuff. What I'm saying to you is I think you picked the right one because I liked 5 a lot. I really, really did. My point is if you're going to argue with me about something, how about it not be an animated movie like Cars? How about it be something like Fast and Furious? I would have appreciated the question better.
Cars is as real to little kids as much.
You're not a little kid! You're 21! You would have a point if you were 7 years old calling me. You're 21 years old. What are you doing, wearing a diaper? Goodbye, man.
So,
yes,
after hearing that, I bet you think my question is going to be rank your favorite Fast and Furious movies. But it's not gonna.
Okay.
My question to you is, Stephen A. said that he couldn't be the GOAT because there is another car that had the same amount of
Strip
wins.
Weathers. Yeah.
So my question to you is, who is the fictional athlete GOAT?
I also think Stephen A. Look, it's also incomplete. If we're talking cars, he was talking Strip Weathers, Lightning McQueen, Cruz Ramirez won a couple, still going Jackson Storm. Like, come on, if we're talking cars, I know cars.
You were hoping I was going to ask you a cars question.
I was really hoping you go that way. I know you have an answer to this, and you have said this before. You've ranked your top 10. Give us who your number 1 fictional athlete is.
The greatest fictional athlete of all time is Steve Nebraska of the New York Yankees from the movie The Scout.
Okay, and tell us why.
He was a pitcher found in South Central Mexico. He's an American, but he came up, signed with the Yankees after George Steinbrenner saw him throw just 1 pitch. He pitched a perfect game against the Cardinals in his first ever game, which was game 1 of the World Series. 81 pitches, all of them strikes, 27 up, 27 down. Oh, also 2 home runs in the game. The Yankees won 2-0 over the Cardinals.
That's pretty dominant.
Yes. And his final pitch was 115 miles per hour.
I always love, like, to me, I wouldn't say this is the greatest, but I love the spoof. Did you ever read? I don't even know if you ever read the article, but did you hear, Chris, about years ago? It was probably in the 80s.
Oh, in Sports Illustrated?
Sid Finch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I remember.
Oh, that's a good one.
I remember reading about it, but, I don't know what his success was, but it was like he could throw like 100 and I don't even know. I'm probably going to embellish it now, but it was maybe like 110 miles an hour or 115. He played like the French horn. He was in Alaska.
Did he play like barefoot too or something like that?
It was like nobody. It was like the mystery man, and obviously it ended up being made up. So I mean, that's obviously a fictional person. But I think of characters I like. Like, was Benny the Jet Rodriguez even really good? Like, he made the majors, but was he good?
Remember, he lost a step or two, but they saw some fireworks when he stole home.
That's right. So he did steal home, and I don't know if that was a meaningful game or just a random,
Well, it's against the Giants, so once those two teams go against each other.
Could that have been a May game that's like, oh, that's cool. It's not the World Series. What's her name? Dottie. What was Dottie's name in the
Dottie
league?
Hendricks.
Dottie Hendricks was
but
pretty
she only played one season.
She was pretty good.
She was very good. But she lost the World Series.
Rocky ended up losing.
And she only played one game in the World Series. Get out of here with your Dottie Hendricks.
I'm just trying to think of different people. Rocky, what was Rocky's record?
Rocky was like 50.
He lost a lot.
Something in 20. He had 20 losses.
20 losses?
Yeah.
Oh, he should have stopped fighting.
Apollo Creed famously only had one loss.
Just to Rocky?
To Rocky. I believe he was 49-1 with 48 knockouts.
What was Clubber Lang?
I don't remember.
Yeah, he was. That one was like my scary one. And I know it's like a generational thing. Yours was Drago. Like, had he lost?
Oh, Drago was an amateur fighter. Come on, Jason.
What am I thinking?
He never was professional.
Good question. I don't have the answer. You had an answer ready to go. I just threw out some names. All right, question.
Good names, just wrong.
Yeah.
Question 3.
How about Teen Wolf?
High school basketball?
He's pretty good.
But then he stopped being the Wolf. Question 3.
Yes.
All right, it's Thanksgiving.
Yep.
So I need you to give me an entree, 2 sides, and dessert, but you're going to give me an alternative Thanksgiving plate. None of like the main spots. I need an entree that's people don't usually have on Thanksgiving.
Okay.
2 sides and a dessert.
Well, I'm going to my family here. So if an entree, and I consider this an entree, so we have gumbo.
Okay.
That's not traditional for a lot of people. So that one I would say for sure. So a non-traditional side, I feel like our sides are traditional.
Okay, well, get some non-traditional sides.
Let's see. Where are you, by the way, Chris, on I feel like the one that seems to be the most, I don't know if it's polarizing, but it's cranberry sauce. Like, I feel like people, I hate it, or no, I like cranberry sauce. Isn't that what? And it's different. Like some like literally like it from the can where you can still see it in the mold of it, and others like, oh no, the true.
I had it a couple times, but it was never like it's like it's fine.
I mean, if it's there, I will have it. I don't even think we end up with cranberry sauce. So, would potato salad be at, because people make potatoes?
Yeah,
or
I'll give that to you
as a little bit of an offshoot. So I'll do that, or deviled eggs.
Which one you want, or both?
Well, don't I need 2?
Yeah.
So I'm going to do deviled eggs and potato salad with gumbo.
Stinky.
Yes. And then what was the last part? A dessert?
Dessert.
Well, non-traditional. So I'm having ice cream. People make pies.
Which kind of ice cream?
Oh, it's got to have something in it. So like a cookies and cream, or a Heath Bar Crunch, some sort of something else in the ice cream, like a coffee ice cream.
So are you making a sundae, or is this
just a little bowl of
okay.
little bowl of ice cream? That's a good day right there. That doesn't even have to be Thanksgiving, but you said non-traditional, so there you go. That's a fabulous day for me.
So a fabulous day for you consists of gumbo, egg salad,
potato salad,
my mistake.
Maybe deviled eggs,
and
some ice cream.
I'm gonna put you down for coffee ice cream.
Yes, that's fine.
Okay.
But it has to have like toffee in it, like or chocolate chips.
I got you. Yeah.
Okay. What do you have?
Oh, the question's on me now?
Yeah.
Okay, now I got to think of it.
Okay.
As I was thinking of this, deviled eggs was one of the ones that I was thinking
of.
Yeah,
because deviled eggs are good.
That's one I've never made ever.
I haven't either.
And I don't even know who makes them.
Yeah.
But whenever I see them, it's like, oh, yeah, give these a try.
Yeah, just a little bite size. Yeah.
So I'm going to go with
Stinky
tamales.
Okay.
Deviled eggs.
Yes.
What is another non-traditional side? I want to say, Okay, I'll go to dessert. Coconut cream pie.
Oh.
And then for my side,
does someone make a coconut cream pie in your family, or you just
we just
buy one?
buy it?
Yeah.
And then I am going to go with, I'll go with Brussels sprouts.
Wow.
No. Oh, like roasted Brussels sprouts? You're out of your mind.
I am not a fan of Brussels sprouts.
Like, how have you had them though?
The
roasted with the
good. Yeah, they doctor it up, and I'm like, I just don't like the taste. Even prepared, prepared very well, they're better, but you like Brussels sprouts, huh?
Mm-hmm.
That one just doesn't do it for me.
That was absolutely insane.
Yes, exactly. All right, there you go. 3 for Madness, 3 questions, 3 answers. You can certainly weigh in any of yours if you like on our YouTube chat or on our text line. When we come back, Kings, Pelicans, the rematch tonight. We'll discuss next.
Local bragging rights are on the line this Sunday for the Causeway Classic of basketball.
Lost the handle, picked up by Milling, up ahead to Jonathan, ahead of everybody, and then we are tied.
UC Davis hosts Sacramento State in the Causeway of Hoops.
Lee inbounded Johnson with 3 seconds. Johnson takes it straight to the rim. Layup, got it with 0.8 seconds to go. And the Aggies have done it.
Play-by-play begins Sunday at 5 on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It's Wednesday. We're looking at a cool start to the morning with some patchy areas of fog. Look for increasing clouds this afternoon. It'll be a dry day today with light winds. Highs will peak in the mid-60s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Imagine taking a nice warm bath in your shower. Let us fix that. Right now, get that clogged drain unclogged for just $97. Bonnie, plumbing, sewer, electrical, heating, and air. Bonnie.com. Some restrictions apply. License 696-355.
It's the biggest automotive event of the year. This coming Saturday, Elk Grove Kia is unleashing Black Weekend. We're talking vehicles starting at an unbelievable $500. Yes, you heard it right, just $500. Or cruise in style with a Kia Sportage for just $244 a month plus tax. These deals are so hot, they won't last. Worried about your credit? Fear not. We've got you covered. No credit application will be turned away. Hurry in this weekend to Elk Grove Kia because it's first in, first served, and these deals won't last. Visit us at elkgrovekia.com or see us in the Elk Grove Auto Mall.
2015 Chevy Malibu, 129205 and 2008 Mazda 3121836, $500. Price does not include government fees, taxes, document processing charge, and electronic filing charge, and any emissions testing charge. 2023 Kia Sportage LX all-wheel drive lease for $244 a month for 24 months plus tax. 1950 Kia lease cash plus $34.95 customer down payment due at signing residual of $20,500, 2060 based on 12 pay per year, 20 cents per mile over. No security deposit required. So Kia finance tier 1 approval subject to prior sale. This payment GK8975 expires 11/30.
Elk Grove Kia. We can be heroes.
You've seen Cody Lee not once, but twice on America's Got Talent. And now is your chance to see him live at Gold Country Casino Resort. Get your tickets now to see America's Got Talent winner, Cody Lee, January 20th at 8 p.m. Only at
Gold Country Casino Resort.
This show is open to all ages.
The game of football is about pain. Ever since I was 5 years old, it's been all about football. It's been about running, jumping, blocking, tackling. I stopped playing at 31.
You're listening to Michael Robinson, retired pro fullback.
I thought that foot pain was going to be with me for the rest of my life. I'm so glad I met Good Feet. I'm so glad that those arch supports are in my shoes. I have terrible foot issues that prevented me from really having a normal life with my kids. With the Good Feet arch supports, man, I'm always ready. My kids actually got to enjoy me in the yard more, racing each other, backpedaling, teaching them some things, being a dad. If I had known about the Good Feet arch support earlier, I would have more than one championship. I would have 2 championship rings.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and Vacaville.
Who has the largest selection of golf merchandise in Northern California? The Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. It's the go-to store for golf bags, apparel, equipment, lessons, club fittings, novelty items, and more. With their low price guarantee, complimentary gift boxes, and gift cards for your golfer, it's the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Add convenient online shopping and effortless after-Christmas return policy, and you'll see why the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is the #1 choice for golfers everywhere. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway or online at hagenoaks.com.
Carmichael Dave.
He has very good sources, and he just kind of tells it as it is and gets to the point.
Jason Ross.
He has a lot of pretty smart things to say. He's good at what he does.
On Sactown Sports.
And another 3-ball has been knocked down by Brandon Ingram. And the Pelicans are just sailing off into the sunset. Malik Monk just attempted a 3-point shot. It was blocked by Jones, and a foul on Malik in the process. Well, you knew that the winning streak would end at some point, and tonight was a very possible opportunity for that to happen during the first back-to-back of the year. But I don't think anybody expected it to happen in this fashion. The final score is 129-93. And it is the Pelicans who, after the first quarter, just totally dominated the Sacramento Kings.
Yeah, they did. That was called by the G-Man the other night in New Orleans. Same two teams, same city tonight. And we'll see how the Kings respond after some film, some rest, some recouping, and getting some guys healthier for the second matchup between the two, according to our own Sactown Sports Kings insider, Frankie Cardicelli. His injury report for the Pelicans. We know that Keon Ellis is out. We know that Alex Len is out. Chris Duarte now listed as questionable with left thumb soreness. Keegan Murray, questionable with low back soreness. Sasha Vezenkov is not even listed on the injury report. And it's possible, and I mean possible, that we could see the first game for this guy.
Second free throw is also missed. With the rebound this time, Trey Lyles took it away from Looney, basically ahead to Fox. Stutter step, almost lost the ball, controls it, gives to Trey, coming up the floor, step in three, drills it. Trey Lyles now in double figures, has 11. And the Kings are back within 5. It's 86-81.
Yes, we might see the season debut of Trey Lyles. And I think that's been a big deal. Obviously, when the Kings were without De'Aaron Fox for 5 games, you saw how they looked. The first couple were the first one was okay. The next couple were rough. Then they found a way to get a couple of wins. And then when De'Aaron came back, I mean, he is soared. His last game was his worst and the team's worst, but he's been awesome. He's played at the MVP level. He's been out of this world. He's been Western Conference Player of the Week. But Trey Lyles, though he doesn't start, I think is an important piece to the puzzle for this team. His versatility, he can play 5, he can play 4, his stretching the floor ability, another shooter that this team, I think, has a lot of good shooters, though they haven't really had that game, maybe one this year, where they've collectively all shot the ball well. But that's still coming. You know that's going to happen. And just the intangibles that a guy like Trey Lyles brings to this team. He's tough. He's solid. He's a professional. The guys all seem to like him. His demeanor is really just kind of even keel. But don't mistake him for not being a competitor. He loves it in Sacramento. He's been a guy that it would qualify as a journeyman that's bounced around the league, that's had several different homes. But I think this team has missed him. And even with that said, I mean, they're 8-5. It's the things the Kings are doing right now are still big picture, very, very good. And so as you sprinkle in different guys making their ways back from injuries and missing different pockets of the season, you work on the totality of the team, and then the individuals kind of have to fit back in. And I think Trey Lyles is an easy fit back in guy. So if he does play today, since it's his first game, if he's a go from the coaching staff, I would expect limited minutes and not massive production, but we just don't know. You give a guy a chance to play, I'm sure he'll be anxious and he'll want to spread the floor and knock down shots. But yet another body that could help with Zion, with Valanciunas, with Ingram, with just the versatility that and the toughness that New Orleans, I think, played with the other night that the Kings did not. So since the Kings have already gone through this scenario once this year, that's the whole point of going through a bad game, a bad road trip, a bad quarter, a bad call, injuries, whatever the circumstances and the trials and tribulations that every team has to go through an NBA season. The point of going through them, you hope, is to learn the lesson. What is the lesson? Well, in Houston, the lesson was, I don't know if they took the Rockets lightly the first game and just assumed, we'll get another crack at them. They're really not that good, and we'll take care of them. I'm sure that wasn't the overwhelming thought, but that's the way it looked. And then Houston absolutely punked them. I mean, just worked the Kings. The second game was even worse. So today, the Kings now have lived that. They've watched film. Hopefully they've learned from, was that a faulty game plan? Was it faulty execution? Probably a little bit of everything when you lose, right? You've got to credit the other team. New Orleans played well. But why? Why did they play well? What can you do differently to, if New Orleans starts to get on a run, if Zion starts to chew up the paint like he did the other day, and just in the second quarter, it was no contest. He got to a spot, those hard cuts from right to left through the paint, getting to that favored left hand, and zero resistance. So the Kings saw it. They lived it live, saw it on film, and now know they've got to make those tweaks. And whether it's a different approach overall, I thought they sent a few more aggressive double teams at him in the second half, but then you have to leave someone open, and New Orleans was pretty good on their recognition, and more of the open threes went to Brandon Ingram, and he was 5 for 5 in the game. So I think you've got to establish what you're willing to live with. If I'm guessing, I think the Kings would be willing to live with open threes or 3-point attempts versus points in the paint, and then you hope you contest or recover better, or that they miss. I mean, the Kings spent a day missing a bunch of threes. Some of them were more open than others. The other part of the redirect that the Kings have to be much better at today, and we're going to talk about this more at the top of the hour with TV analyst Katie Christensen on her weekly visit. But I thought the Kings' offense was as disjointed as we've seen it, specifically with De'Aaron. I mean, De'Aaron is so gifted at getting to the spots he wants, creating, as the Kings call it, paint touches. That puts so much pressure on the defense. And then kick out threes and make the threes. Well, the Kings, I felt like, did so much more work around the perimeter. De'Aaron himself, too, settled for a bunch of threes, as opposed to, and he wasn't making them, as opposed to, getting into the paint, getting some work done there, getting to the foul line. I think De'Aaron had 2 free throw attempts. The other thing the Kings didn't do as well, like, look, New Orleans is scoring, but the Kings can still put pressure on you off a made basket. Get the ball out and go, and get up the court within 3 to 4 seconds and have an open look. I didn't feel like they did that enough. I know Coach Brown, some of the things he talked about post-game was maybe the Kings working too much on the first action that they saw. So maybe working the left side of the court, had a look, and attacked it. Well, as opposed to maybe an extra pass or two work the backside of the play. Maybe there's something over there too. So I anticipate a much different approach to tonight's game as far as the scheme and the game plan. The execution, you can never predict. You don't know how will the Kings play tonight against the Pelicans. All right, break time for us. When we come back, more to get to on the show. The in-season tournament is in full swing. We've actually got a couple of teams that have clinched spots. We will discuss that when we come back. We'll start with the East. A little bit later, we'll tackle the West. The Kings, as you know, still have 2 big games left in the in-season tournament. They've got a Friday game against Minnesota, then next Tuesday back home against Golden State. But what does the East landscape on the runway to Vegas look like? We will explain that when we come back here on Sactown Sports.
Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division title, GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, All-Stars and All-NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox, the breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out. Each and every Sacramento Kings game can be heard right here on your proud home of the Beam Team, Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
Hey, what's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. What's happening for Chrysler's Black Friday sales event?
We just added even more savings. Now you can save up to $16,500 off MSRP on new 2023 Ram 1500 Crew Cabs with no payments for 90 days. And we have trucks starting as low as $29,995.
Wow. And what about the last of those Dodge muscle cars?
Right now, save up to $6,500 off MSRP on new 2023 Dodge Charger and Challenger GT and SXT with no payments for 90 days. And we even have thousands off MSRP on Scat Packs, Hellcats, and special editions too. And we're turning back the clock and saving you thousands with financing as low as 4.99% for 84 months on all new and used vehicles in stock.
See our full selection at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period. 16.5 total net savings after 11,000 factory rebates and 5,500 dealer discounts. Rebates include $1,000 case construction cash. Must have purchased eligible case equipment from qualifying dealer. 5 of this net savings, $29,995, truck VIN number 123158. 65 total net savings after 2,500 factory rebates and 4,000 dealer discounts. Rebates include $500 first responder cash for eligible first responders only. No payments for 90 days on approved credit through Chrysler Capital. 4.99% for 84 months. OAC through Travis Credit Union. $14.15 per thousand borrowed.
Hi, this is Scott Trout of Cordell & Cordell. There are a lot of great dads out there. Sometimes those dads get divorced. For more than 30 years, we've represented men in divorce, confronting the pitfalls that could devastate your finances or harm your family relationships. While every situation is different, our goal is to get the best outcome for you and your kids. Visit CordellCordell.com to take the first step.
500 Capitol Mall, Suite 2060, Sacramento, California, 95814. Online at CordellCordell.com.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed? Because no two people sleep the same. Only the Sleep Number smart bed lets you each choose your individual firmness and comfort, your Sleep Number setting. The Climate 360 smart bed is so smart it actively cools or warms up to 13 degrees on either side for your ideal sleep temperature. JD Power now ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store. During our Black Friday sale, save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. For JD Power 2023 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Prestigio Jewelers Black November sale is on all month long. Get amazing doorbuster deals while supplies last. 1 carat diamond earrings only $449. Wedding sets starting at only $899. 70% off gold chains and much more. Get quick and easy credit approval and low monthly payments at Prestigio Jewelers. No credit, bad credit, even bankruptcy, you're approved. Prestigio Jewelers guarantees your credit up to $10,000. Shop designer brands such as Cartier, Gucci, Bulova, and Citizen. Visit us today or online at prestigiojewelers.com. See store for details.
It's the season of performance event at Acura of Stockton. Elevate your driving experience with a vehicle that's built to impress. Lease a new Acura RDX or MDX. Acura of Stockton has a great selection of new Acuras and customer service that will exceed your expectations. Take luxury to a whole new level in a new Acura from Acura of Stockton or AcuraofStockton.com, where precision-crafted performance is at your fingertips.
At AimYourDigital.com, we'll help you target the right audience, build your leads, and crush your quota. Take your business to the next level. Our digital marketing strategies help grow awareness of your product or service, all while building trust in your business. Our approach involves leveraging multiple tools and strategies to deliver exceptional results that are customized to your unique business needs. Don't wait to run out of sales leads. Keep your business growing. Get started with AimYourDigital.com today.
The only place in the morning to get your sports fix.
Live and local.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Hey, Chris, we had this brought up earlier. Someone asked us on the show if we were going to have Dave Richards this week. And no, we're off tomorrow and Friday. So our regular Thursday guests, unfortunately, no Sam Amick, no Kelly Brothers, Greg Papa, Dave Richards this week. Normally we'd have Brendan on Friday. We moved him to Monday. But yeah, the others are off. I would have asked Dave Richards this, but I'm asking you, Chris. You play fantasy football. So I just got a trade proposal in the break. And it's one of those, to me, I don't like it at all, but I shouldn't have framed it. I should have said that. But they want 2 of my players for 5. And it's like, and when you start to do that, then you go, even if you're remotely interested, then I have to start cutting people.
How terrible is your team if you need 5 players?
Well, they want 5 to me.
Oh, they
want 2 of mine for 5. I'll just read you the trade. They want Tyreek Hill, who's the best player in this trade by far, and Alvin Kamara, who's been good for me. I mean, he's actually been pretty good for the Saints. for Christian Kirk, Jahan Dotson, Tank Dell, Gus Edwards, and Najee Harris.
No.
Yeah, I'm like, none of this. I'm like, no. I need a player equivalent to Tyreek Hill back. And so I quickly looked at their roster, and I'm like, okay, I see Christian McCaffrey. He'll probably go, no. Well, like, that's what I'm talking. Tyreek Hill's been amazing.
Yeah.
Like, McCaffrey needs to be in this deal.
Yes.
So, no, not interested. So it's not crazy, right?
It's crazy.
Well, I mean,
offer that.
It's an easy
See,
no.
Here's the thing: is people. I see this in fantasy football. Is they like to make trades like they see in the NBA.
Yeah, like we'll give you more players. I don't need more players.
You don't need more players.
In fantasy, you actually just need, I've done this before where a draft ends and I go, oh man, that guy's team, like if people get hurt or bye weeks, but in the end, you're playing 3 starting, whatever your starting group, if you've got a good group and they're healthy, you're going to be fine.
A couple leagues I'm in, it's so tough to trade people. And it's like, because it's late in the season and it's just like, I'm trying to trade, like if I'm trying to get back up there, I'm trying to get the person's, I'm trading one of my starters for a person's bench player that he's not using but is doing pretty good.
Right.
So I could get those points and like, no, because I might need them. It's like
you're not playing them.
You can't play them in the playoffs.
Right.
You're gonna leave points on the bench. Well, I might need them. All right.
Yeah, not interested in this trade. I'll have
that is my key to fantasy football as it gets later in the season. Hold on one second.
Yeah. Bless you.
As it gets later in the season, start getting rid of your bench.
For other,
if you can get value, trade away your bench to kind of bump up your starter value.
Hey, you are the champ. I mean,
that's what people say.
Yeah, that's what people say. All right, we are getting closer and closer to the in-season tournament elimination stage, right? The Kings still have 2 games to go. One of them's Friday in Minnesota. That's a big game. Minnesota has been doing some great things. And then next Tuesday, back home after that long road trip, they will get the Golden State Warriors. So Kings still have 2 to go. But with that said, we kind of want to look in on the Eastern Conference here in this segment on the in-season tournament. I've been into it. I think this has been fun. I don't necessarily, the courts and the uniforms aren't my thing. I'm still looking at the basketball. But honestly, if you watch the in-season tournament game, I do think, I don't want to say they're playing harder. I think the players are in. I think they've bought into, it's pretty intense. The competition's been good. Last night's Philly-Cleveland game was great. And was it because it was in-season tournament or is it 2 good teams? I don't know, but that was really good basketball.
I want to say, it's not playoff basketball.
No.
But it's like what they wanted it to be. It's like late March, April basketball.
Right. And you wanted these games to mean more. And I do think that the players are approaching it that way. I saw on TNT last night, Shaq's like, look, let's just be honest. These guys are playing for $500,000, not the trophy. It doesn't even matter what they're playing for. I think it's cool to be the first one to win it. I think it's cool to win. When people go, oh, these guys make so much. If you make $18 million, what's $500,000? I'm telling you, nobody turns down $500,000.
If you're TJ Ford.
Right. If you're just anybody making.
Now, if you're not on the floor, do you know how hard he is going to be rooting if they're in the finals?
And I do think that players like De'Aaron Fox would want to win it for the guys that make less money. He'll want to win it for himself too, but it's like,
definitely.
And I know that was and I hope people heard that in one of our pregame shows. It was Robbie Lemons, one of the Kings' assistants that's been around a few years. I guess the day of the first tournament game, put up a slide of different things that you could buy. And he knew kind of what players liked on the team, on the Kings, what you could buy for $500,000. Now, obviously, you could do a lot of things for $500,000, but there's some very serious wine connoisseurs on the Kings. So there was this, I know nothing about wine, so pardon me I wouldn't know what brand and name, and whatever high-level wine, you could buy X amount of cases. There was a picture shown of that. You could do, you could buy this kind of house. You could buy, if you're a car fan, you could buy this. Imagine these guys are all well-paid and all that, but it's still incentive, and I think the players have bought in. And if we look at the East, there's 3, obviously, a Group A, a Group B, and a Group C. And yesterday, we already had our first team get in, and see if you recognize these names.
Isaiah Jackson is on for the first time with McConnell, Halliburton, Mathurin, and Toppin. Shot clock to 7, way out on the left edge. Halliburton on fire, has 5 3-point baskets in the third quarter. Here comes Heel. Left side, down the side of the lane to the baseline. Toppin back to Heel. This would be a three, and he hits it out of the corner. And Toppin wisely takes it into the corner, sending it into Heel, who lays it in as time expires. On the floor, the basket counts. Whether or not it doesn't matter. Just a spectacular night of offensive basketball from both teams. Indiana just slightly more spectacular than Atlanta, and the Pacers are winners.
Pacers won. And so if you look at East Group A, which is there's some good teams in there. Detroit has been eliminated already. They've got one more game to go. They're 0-3, but they are officially eliminated from the in-season tournament. Atlanta, who lost that highly contested game that we just played the highlights from with Indiana, is 1-2. Still not eliminated, but it's going to need a lot of help to get to that wild card spot. Philadelphia, a really good basketball team. In fact, one of the best teams in the East, is 2-2. They can't play any more games. I don't think that they're going to get in their plus. Their differential, their scoring differential is +9, so they're in trouble. And Cleveland is 2-1. They're +6. But at 3-0, they've already clinched it. The Indiana Pacers are the first team from the East that will advance out of Group A. So the Pacers have moved on. And if you kind of look at it from the East perspective, it falls in line more with the regular standings. But I also think that can be the charm of this, where you could get, much like the NCAA tournament, a 14 seed to the Final Four, or a 9 seed. That's good, but maybe not great. But here they are making a tournament run. In Group B, Milwaukee and Miami are both 2-0. Milwaukee, though, in that score differential, way ahead of Miami, and that's a point of contention to keep your eye on. The Knicks are 1-1. Charlotte is 1-2, and Washington 0-3. They, too, have been eliminated. So that feels right, as Detroit and Washington, two of the worst teams in the East. So that's falling in line with the schedule. Group C, Boston is 2-0. They lead and have the best point differential in that grouping. So they still have two more to go. Brooklyn 2-1. Orlando 2-1. Toronto and Chicago 0-2. So again, watching it, you see the difference in the uniforms in the court. But I think for the regular season and for the first run at it, I've enjoyed it. I've seen plenty of people like, I don't get it. It's just another regular season game. And I think you can also treat it that way. I don't think there's anything more that you have to treat it as a fan, as a viewer, until it does get to the elimination stage. Then I think it's a little bit more straightforward. You know who's advanced. You know you have to win to move on. You know you ultimately get to Vegas. And if you win 2 games there, you're the champ. I don't think the rest of it becomes a mystery. I can understand how the first part is a little bit clouded, but to see the Pacers, a team that I wouldn't predict to get out of the Eastern Conference, but now they have a chance to win the cup. That's fun. They're a really high-scoring team. I don't know how much defense they played. I mean, last night's game, you just heard the highlights there. What was it, 157 or 150? Was something, 157, 153. Just crazy basketball. But Chris, so far so good, I think, on the in-season tournament.
The only thing I don't like about it is that the schedules are off. Like, I feel like...
Oh, some teams some have played 4, some have only played 2.
Yeah, and I feel like they should all end at least in the same week.
Yeah, and then the other one...
And the other thing, I don't know if they do this or not. Did they do it? I'm sorry, I don't know this, but like the last game in the group should all take place at the same time.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, the other one I would change if I was the league, much like the Kings are in New Orleans right now against the Pelicans in 2 games over 3 days. I've seen a couple of the in-season tournament games either be the first or the second game of those. Like the T-Wolves were out playing the Warriors, I want to say, on Sunday. They won. That was the second. Wait, was it that game? That was the Draymond game with Rudy Gobert.
Yes.
But 2 days later, Minnesota State and San Francisco, they played them again. That was a tournament game. So it's weird to play a team twice with one of them being a tournament game. That part I would change from the league on the scheduling part.
Yes.
But overall, again, this is the first run at it. That's the East. Still to come, we will look at the Western Conference groupings in the picture there. The Kings still in good position, but 2 important games coming up.
This is the big one of the group.
Yeah, for sure. Friday? Yeah, with Minnesota. All right, we will break. When we come back, every Wednesday at 8 o'clock, we check in with Kings television analyst Katie Christensen. She's in New Orleans. We will visit with Katie when we return right here on Sactown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Start planting your garden this weekend with Bonnie 11.8-ounce vegetables. Buy 4 for $10. Plus, liven up your patios and decks with fresh blooms. Select 1.5-gallon hanging baskets or 2 for $20. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. In-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Elk Grove Honda.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It's Wednesday. We're looking at a cool start to the morning with some patchy areas of fog. Look for increasing clouds this afternoon. It'll be a dry day today with light winds. Highs will peak in the mid-60s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
At Elk Grove Honda, we see every Honda buyer as a member of the family, so we make sure every lower-price certified pre-owned Honda is one we'd buy from ourselves. See our selection of certified pre-owned Hondas in the Elk Grove Auto Mall or online at elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Hello, saver. Whether you're saving for that trip to the tropics or saving for an emergency, now is the time to take advantage of Wells Fargo's savings options. Wells Fargo offers savings accounts that can help you save towards your goals. So, what are you saving for? Visit a Wells Fargo branch or wellsfargo.com/save to open a savings account today.
Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
I'm Craig Ashton of the injury law firm of Ashton and Price. Whether you've been injured on a bicycle, as a pedestrian in a slip and fall, auto, Uber, Lyft, or big rig accident, you need Ashton and Price in your corner. When you call Ashton and Price, there's no chatbot telling you to hit 3 for accounting. You're greeted by a real live person who will immediately transfer you to an experienced attorney. The consultation's free, and there's never a fee until you win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave asking you, are you feeling the pain of paying more and more for your gas? PG&E has increased their rates 4 times in the last 5 years, and the new forecast says PG&E customers may see their bills increase 32% by 2026. The good thing is there are steps you can take to protect yourself from these rate hikes, and better yet, American Energy may be able to help you completely eliminate your gas bill with a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. Did you know SMUD offers huge rebates to eliminate your old gas guzzler? They can help you guide through the whole process. Seriously, listen to me. You go to the SMUD website. There's tons of rebates available, but it is confusing on how to do it. Listen to these rebates. $2,500 from American Energy, $3,500 from SMUD, $1,000 from Caltech, $2,000 home system upgrades. That's $9,000 in rebates. Let American Energy help you out at 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
It's the Black Friday Sell-a-thon at Folsom Lake Ford with low prices, low finance rates, and a $500 Amazon gift card on selected vehicles. Now through Monday, shop your truck headquarters, Folsom Lake Ford. See dealer for details.
Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of the Drive of the Game. Now listen to every Kings game for Gary Gerald's Drive of the Game call. Then listen to Jason and myself the next morning for a chance to win a $100 Jiffy Lube certificate, courtesy of all the Jiffy Lube locations in the greater Sacramento area. Get your vehicle ready for the holiday driving season at Jiffy Lube today. Oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. For more information, go to jiffylube.com.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
No look, Bibby to Weber, down the lane, flying jam. There's your play of the night right there. It's inside is Sabonis, a two-hand rip, a brilliant pass from De'Aaron Fox.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Sactown Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then
boom, with Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with
Second free throw is also missed. With the rebound this time, Trey Lyles took it away from Looney, basically ahead to Fox. Stutter step, almost lost the ball, controls it, gives to Trey, coming up the floor, step in three, drills it. Trey Lyles now in double figures, has 11. And the Kings are back within 5. It's 86-81.
Oh, I sure hope we get the return of Trey Lyles tonight. We're not quite sure, but he's getting very, very close to returning to play for the Sacramento Kings. Welcome back into the show. Jason Ross here with you. No Carmichael Dave. He's back next week. And as promised, each and every Wednesday at this time, we get a chance to check in with the TV analyst for your Sacramento Kings, the one, the only, Katie Christensen. Katie, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well, Jason. How are you?
I'm doing well. Are you ready to get out of New Orleans at this point?
Yes, I'm ready to get out of New Orleans. I'm ready to come back to Sacramento, but we still got one more to go after this.
Yeah. Is the team doing Thanksgiving in Minnesota? What's the team plan?
Yeah, there's going to be a Thanksgiving dinner in Minnesota. We'll leave tonight and be there quite late, and it'll be quite cold, but hey, one more to go, and then we're back.
And you've done this before long enough, whether you're an athlete playing the WNBA or now working for the Kings for so many years. The holidays don't wait. You guys have to do this. I'm sure you miss being around home, certainly for Thanksgiving. That's got to be one of the challenges for you.
Yeah, it is, but it is so common now, so it's like we've done it before, and you kind of readjust your family plans to fit your schedule. And at least we're home for Christmas this year, but I think we're going to get to the point where Christmas might be off the calendar for us.
Yeah, that's true. And that's a good problem to have in a sense. And
that's a good problem.
Yeah, as we're talking to Katie Christensen here on the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. So, Katie, I'm kind of taking last game as a one-game aberration for the Kings. They were playing so well, and then they really got worked in the paint. I was surprised at how lopsided that became, really on both sides. I mean, Zion did what he wanted, but the fact that De'Aaron, Sabonis, and others couldn't do anything in the paint at all, that's got to be changed as quickly as tonight for the Kings.
I would hope so. I think it has a lot to do with the three-point shooting. When you look at the numbers for New Orleans, I mean, they're a very good defensive team because they're very long and their perimeter players are all really good defenders. I mean, they are stacked with good defenders on the perimeter. And so, they really kind of pack in that paint and force you to shoot the three. And then they do a great job of coming out and contesting. Going into our game the other day against New Orleans, I think they were like third in the league for, the most threes attempted by their opponents, but they were second in the league in percentage allowed. And so since the Kings had such a hard time getting their three ball to drop, it really just allowed them to continue to pack in that paint. And, De'Aaron took a ton of threes, wasn't able to get him to go. And you kind of need to do that if you're De'Aaron to open up the lanes for you to drive. So it was just one of those nights, I look at it as, sometimes, you play the schedule most of the season and sometimes it plays you. And that was definitely the schedule playing them in the first one against New Orleans.
All right. So now it's maybe more of an even setup, at least have a day off, I'm sure film and workouts and all that to maybe even a different scheme. What should the approach be? Again, easier said than done, Katie, you know this, but Zion's a problem, especially when he's cutting through the lane, getting to that left side, so physical. What's the better attack or approach today on Zion Williamson?
Yeah, I sat through walkthrough the other day and listened to the whole, plan in terms of how you're going to defend Zion and how you're going to kind of defend the Pelicans as a whole. And there's not a flaw in their game plan. There's not. I mean, that's pretty much all you can try to do. But Zion is so deceptive with his size and his ball handling capability. He's not a big that operates off the low block. They always put him usually on that right wing, and they run a lot of misdirection screens and DHOs, the dribble handoffs with their guards to kind of distract the defense for a good 10, 15 seconds. And then they kick it to him when they're kind of in rotation, and he just takes off and goes, with his left straight down the lane. And you can be in the right spot. And the deception of him is with his size is that he's so agile of getting around guys and kind of maneuvering through the defense and finishing. So, we'll see what they're able to do tonight, if they're able to slow him down at all. It was really that second quarter for him where he took off, and that's where the paint points became so lopsided. I think it was like, maybe the first time out in the second quarter, where I looked down at the paint numbers and I'm like, wow, they've outscored us 12-0 in the paint in this quarter already. And it was all Zion. And then, you go to the third quarter, and that's when Brandon Ingram got to work. And, it is not a common thing for Brandon Ingram to knock down all 5 of his 3-point attempts. He doesn't even really take them at that clip. So it was just kind of a perfect storm of Zion played really well in the paint, and then Brandon, had a game where he was playing out of his mind. And so everything came together for the Pelicans, and the Kings just could not get any type of momentum.
The other thing that happened in the game, obviously we knew a couple players were out, but then Duarte leaves the game, and the Keegan Murray injury was kind of the mystery where he didn't start the second half. We heard later, I think from you guys, that there was the lower back injury. Is there any word on when and what happened there? Was it just a tweak? What's going on with Keegan?
Yeah, we have no information on kind of where it happened. And you're right, it is kind of the mystery of it because, he played the whole first half, and then we got a message from, the Kings media relations saying like that he was not starting the game, more in the second half, more information to come. Then we're kind of waiting, and it's like, okay, he's out with a low back injury. I have no idea when it happened. And, we all can relate to a low back thing. I mean, Keegan's young, but gosh, I can go to tie my shoe and do it wrong, and my back is just out, or you can sleep wrong. So, I was telling when Kyle and I were doing the drive yesterday, the thing with all the other injuries, they're all hands and ankle injuries, and those are ones that, you're going to recover from. You're going to be able to play through a lot of the hand injuries after maybe the initial couple days, and you'll be fine. Just play through discomfort. But back injuries worry me because that's what I played with through my whole professional career, and that's what ended up ending my career. And you look at Bradley Beal right now, who, he suffered that back injury in Phoenix during the preseason, didn't start the regular season, came back for a few games, and then he took a fall and injured himself again, and now he's out for an extended period of time. So back injuries are a little troublesome in that sense, is that they can really kind of sideline you for a while. So I'm just trying to hope for the best and see and hope that having the youth on his side helps a little bit, but we don't have any word as to, how long this could potentially be for Keegan.
Yeah, at this point listed as questionable, and that could mean anything, but I like seeing that questionable name next to Trey Lyles. Is this a night we might finally see Trey Lyles?
I'm hoping so. I'm really hoping so. As you know, questionable is like a 50% kind of probability with how the NBA breaks down their injury reports. He's been working for a long time. We've seen on this road trip, he's gotten a lot more on-court action. He got 5-on-5 action yesterday for the first time, which is really, really an important step to coming back. And then it's just about, how did he feel this morning when he woke up? And the team's leaving right now to go to shoot around, and he'll go through shoot around, I imagine. And then they'll just reevaluate and see how he feels going into tonight. But it would be nice to have Trey back because it kind of gives Mike Brown some freedom with his rotations where he can really change them up. As we saw last year, there was opportunities for them to go small ball and put Trey at the 5, and his 3-point shooting capability really kind of makes that an interesting lineup for Mike Brown. And he's he's not the most athletic, quickest player, but he's a really high intelligence player. So on the defensive side, he's, usually in the right place at the right time. And despite maybe having a size disadvantage, just being able to be there, on time when he's supposed to makes, them effective as a team defensively with that lineup. So I'm excited. I'm excited for Trey because I know how difficult it is to start a season with an injury and then have lineups and rotations kind of get established. And you're kind of sitting on the sideline wondering, like, how am I going to work my way into it?
You call all these games, so you see them firsthand. Numerically, they're better defensively. Are you seeing it firsthand? Is this a better defensive team this year?
It's a way better defensive team, and I would say the area where they've made the biggest jump is just their ability collectively to defend, screen action. You're seeing guys really fight over the top of screens. They're doing a good job of being physical in that aspect and knocking people kind of off their path and being there on the catch instead of, constantly forcing rotation and getting kind of mismatches and switches and things like that. But yeah, I would say as a whole defensively, they've just made such a big jump. And going into that game the other day during that win streak, during that 6-game win streak, the Kings offense was ranked 7th during that span, and their defense was ranked 7th during that span. So, the numbers are certainly bearing it out, but the eye test for me really is their ability to kind of defend the screen action way better. And then I'm really proud of everyone, but especially, kind of the bigs in terms of their verticalities. And Keegan has been such a massive part of that jump defensively to me. I'm still so in awe of seeing a first-year player making such a huge leap on the defensive side just going into his second year.
I know, Katie, obviously the team's going to worry about tonight, but if you and I look ahead to Friday, all of a sudden that feels like a double whammy. One, Minnesota is now top of the West, but is also an in-season tournament game. Feels like there's a lot on that one. Are you getting the vibe around the players that they're enjoying the in-season tournament?
Yeah, I think they really are. And wow, was I glad that last New Orleans game was not an in-season tournament game because of how it works with point differential and how that matters and plays into how the in-season tournament rankings and everything bears out in the end. But yeah, there's a lot kind of riding on that last game in Minnesota, and they are such a good team right now. And I mean, a really, really good defensive team as well. And that's kind of where they're having most of their success. They've got plenty of scoring on the offensive end, but man, they are making it really difficult for teams to have flow offensively. And it's tough. I mean, I remember we've played over the course of the last, 13, 14 years. I feel like a lot of the time we end up in Minnesota the day after Thanksgiving. And it's like, oh, that is a brutal game. And it's the end of a long road trip, a 6-game road trip. So there's a lot of things about that game that make it a difficult, game in terms of schedule and all of that. But they are just such a fantastic team right now. And with it being in-season tournament action, I really think that, the players understand the gravity of that.
It's amazing. These games do fly by. Like the season goes fast, but does it seem like 2 months ago that this started? I mean, it started in LA for you guys. In fact, that night was pretty cool. You and Mark getting a birthday cake, sharing the same birthday. But that feels like that was forever ago now. And that was 8 days ago.
Gosh, Kyle and I on this road trip, we've been like, when is it going to end? It does. It feels like we've been here for a long time. Mark started the trip in LA. Kyle joined us in San Antonio, and it's I'm not going to complain. I love my job. I love everything about, kind of covering the NBA and working for a team. I think that gives you a different kind of insight, but I will say that the travel, it's like, what day is this? What day of the week is it? And it's like, normally this time of year, it's like, oh gosh, it's Monday, the week of Thanksgiving. It's like, you're starting, like, you got to get your turkey, you got to get this.
Yeah.
And I feel a little lost in the sense of like, I don't have other responsibilities this week other than to pack my bag and move on to the next hotel.
Yeah. Try to remember what room you're in, right? I mean, it's just, yeah.
Oh my gosh. By the end of the trip, you're like, wait, what floor am I on?
Exactly.
Where do I turn?
Well, Katie, thank you for joining us. Happy Thanksgiving to you. Hopefully the Kings bounce back tonight. Enjoy your trip to Minnesota as well. And we look forward to talking to you again next week.
Hey, you too. And wish Alva and Jackson a happy Thanksgiving for me, will you?
You got it. Thank you so much, Katie. Happy Thanksgiving.
Bye-bye.
All right. That's Katie Christensen joining us. We appreciate her each and every week checking in right there on the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. All right. So good perspective there on where the Kings are. Like the game plan on a couple nights ago, but really just outperformed by the Pelicans. What will it be tonight? We'll find out about that. And we talked about the in-season tournament and that big game on Friday. We updated the East standings. We'll do the West standings, including a team that's already clinched as well. We'll tell you who and how that looks. That is next.
Domantas Sabonis plays here.
He finds Sabonis. Put the frosting on the cake. Put the cherry on the sundae. Sabonis with a two-hand flush makes it 114-106.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Who has the largest selection of golf merchandise in Northern California? The Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. It's the go-to store for golf bags, apparel, equipment, lessons, club fittings, novelty items, and more. With their low price guarantee, complimentary gift boxes, and gift cards for your golfer, it's the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Add convenient online shopping and effortless after-Christmas return policy, and you'll see why the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is the #1 choice for golfers everywhere. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway or online at hagenoaks.com.
This holiday season, create a fun and joyful memory for you and your loved ones. Come light the world and help those in need through the Giving Machine in the Roseville Galleria Mall, November 16th through December 10th, and in Modesto at Valley Fair Mall, December 11th through January 2nd. Choose from local charities serving your community or from global charities worldwide. Come feel the Christmas spirit at the Giving Machine. Learn more at Giving Machine Greater Sacramento Modesto.org.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know? It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sactown Sports.
Thanks again to Katie Christensen for joining us. We had Dan Hawkins early in the show, former UC Davis coach. Anything you ever miss, SactownSports.com is where you need to go. You get the latest content, too, on Kings, 49ers from our insiders, Frankie Cardicelli, Brandon Nunez, also Emil Fragoso. Emil's going to join us at 9 on Niners at 9. Get the very latest in the big game tomorrow for the 49ers and Seahawks on Thanksgiving. So, again, anything you ever miss, shows, podcasts up there. You can check out all of our shows any time of day, all the time. And just really all the different content we have out there. We really appreciate you checking that out. All right, so again, thanks to Katie there. We mentioned earlier the Eastern Conference standings, that Indiana is the first team to clinch. They've moved on to the elimination round, the elimination stage of the in-season tournament. Well, we got a team in the West that has done the same and is moving on.
Lakers are 4-0. They finished pool play in the tournament 4-0, and they will host a quarterfinal game. And this one is over. As Dunn scored to make it 131-99.
Yay, the Lakers have advanced. Everybody cheer.
Rigged.
Group A, the Lakers advance. They go 4-0. That's actually back to Chris's point earlier. The one thing about the Cup, look, they've played 4 games. The Kings are still sitting on 2. I mean, the Lakers have advanced already. The Kings are 2-0, and they haven't. Because they haven't played enough games. We don't know. It's not decided in Group C. But the Lakers are done. They move on. They're the first team to advance out of the West. They are 4-0. Phoenix, who's one of the better teams in the NBA, they're 2-1. They could still get in with wild card play. They're at plus 13 in score differential. Utah is going to need a lot of help. They're now 2-2. But eliminated out of West Group A is Portland and Memphis. Now, Group B, New Orleans. It's not an in-season tournament game tonight, but they lead 2-1, or they're 2-1 and have the best point differential. Denver is 2-1, so they're the champs. You got Houston 1-1, Dallas 1-2, Clippers 1-2. So some good teams in the West are going to be left out of this. And then West Group C is the Kings group. Kings lead right now at 2-0 with a plus 16 in point differential. The team they play Friday, Minnesota, that game's going to mean the world. 2-0. They're plus 10. 1-1 currently are the Warriors at -1 in the point differential. OKC is 1-2, technically not eliminated, but here's where point differential is funny. They have 2 losses, but their 1 win has put them at plus 27. And then the Spurs are eliminated. They are 0-3 at -52. So the Grizzlies, Blazers, and Spurs eliminated, 3 of the worst teams in the NBA. As you know, these games also count as regular season wins and losses. But I think it's fun. I think it's been an interesting tweak, a different element to this whole thing. And you do have the Lakers as the first one in. And obviously, the more the Kings win in this, the more they win regular season games and more they can get closer to a chance to get to Vegas. The other part that isn't worth explaining just yet, Chris, you were talking about one of the things that's a couple things that are off about it. The week of December 3rd through the 10th right now is basically open in the NBA because some teams are going to Vegas and most everyone else is playing 2 more games at this moment that haven't been decided home and road.
I kind of like that.
Uh-huh.
Who I could see not liking that are ticket reps.
Ticket reps, hotels, travel agents. Well, heck, us here, like, that have to, and people don't care about, but producing commercials and logs and scheduling. But that's something I guess you have to live with. But I don't know if it's that different than, let's say it's game 82. Kings are playing the Pelicans. Winner is in, loser is out. I mean, you kind of at least are planning for going to the playoffs, but you also know your season could end. I guess people are maybe, let's see who got eliminated. Portland, Memphis, and the Spurs were probably having plans for Vegas. Now they just canceled the plans.
The other thing that I'm just now starting to get that I kind of don't like the in-season tournament is it really takes a hit to the linear championship.
Oh, that's really important. Do we know where that is right now?
It would be pretty insane
for you not to know
if I knew exactly who was the linear champions right now.
Well, it would be even
how the Sacramento Kings could get the linear championship.
It would be more insane if you actually had a thorough explanation of what has happened to it this year, but I'm sure you don't have that.
I mean, it started with the Nuggets.
Of course, they're the defending champs. So
they went on a run to start the season, but then they lost to the Timberwolves.
Oh, so Minnesota had it.
Timberwolves had a tiny run as well. They lost to the Suns.
Oh, so the Suns have it.
Who currently have it.
Oh, currently. So it's only been Denver, Minnesota, and Phoenix this far into the season. Interesting.
And do you know who the Suns play next?
The Suns
play. They play today.
Today, the Timberwolves?
No.
They play the Warriors.
The Warriors.
Okay.
So let's say the Warriors win.
Okay.
They take on the Spurs next.
Which they would be favored, and Steph's back.
And then that in-season tournament game,
Tuesday, with Draymond returning for the linear championship. That's what matters. Have you had anybody reach out to you about that lately?
Nope.
Okay. I love what I did about 2 years ago. Hey, by the way, who's the linear champ? I'm like, oh, I love it. People still remember that. So basically, as you heard, Chris explained, whoever was the champion, which was Denver, they have the champ.
Imagine it like a belt.
Yeah, like they had the belt or the trophy. If it literally, the NBA trophy changed hands every time the team that had it lost. And so currently right now, Phoenix owns it, correct?
Correct.
All right. Keep it in the West. Keep it in the West. Also in that game with the Lakers last night, some history was made, some more history for this guy, LeBron James.
Right, he's only really on a limit when the Lakers are blowing the other team out. LeBron, drill it from downtown.
Well, that gave him 39,000 career points, the game's all-time leading scorer, adding to his mark. Here's LeBron post-game on hitting that significant milestone.
I congratulate all my teammates and coaches and things of that nature, and I haven't had an opportunity to really, I guess, wrap my head around what that means. I mean, there's been so many great players that came across this league since the beginning of time, and so many great scorers, and to be able to accomplish something as a first of anything, I think that's always pretty cool, and it's a wild moment, that's for sure.
And I'm sure he's thinking about 40,000. He's at 39,000 right now. Truly amazing career. This isn't about a debate, greatest or not. I mean, whatever. That's going to be everybody's opinion. But I never thought of him as a scorer his entire career. That's what's amazing. He's just played so long, been healthy, knock on wood for him, for the majority of his career. And I think, Chris, the one thing, if you don't like LeBron, the one stat I always say right now currently about him, nobody has been better than LeBron this far into their career. He's shattering season 20 and 21 records of opposing guys that did that.
It's weird to kind of think of it like during his career, each season, it was rare that you thought of Tom Brady as the best player or like, oh, he's so good. But at the end of his career, he did it so long and so well that he was just destroying every record. It's like, oh man. But that wasn't the best sound from LeBron in the postgame.
Okay.
Did you hear when he was asked about Will Hardy being younger than him?
Yes.
You want to hear that?
Yeah, let's do it.
It's all good.
So weird being older than the head coach?
I'm older than who?
The Utah head coach?
I'm older than the head coach? Oh, wow.
I just had to.
My goodness. Oh, my goodness. They don't even matter. That's good. Yeah,
it's a good one, right?
That's a good one. Yeah, you got me on that one. You got me on that one. That's crazy.
I usually can't.
Yeah, LeBron is.
That's one of those ones where
I'm older than who?
When you ask him about age and stuff like that, it's like, oh no, I just take care of my body and
right.
stuff like that. It's like,
but then it hit him.
Yeah, like what?
Yeah, I mean, he's officially the oldest player in the league, which okay, that was a matter of time. But the fact that he's older than Will Hardy, who's in year 2, by the way, as the head coach of the Utah Jazz, man, that one hit him. He wasn't ready for that. He was not ready for that. Well, LeBron and the Lakers, the first team to advance to the in-season tournament elimination stage. Kings can get closer to that if they're able to beat Minnesota on Friday. But tonight they got the Pelicans first. We've got a 3 in the key for Kings and Pelicans coming up. Also, who's hot and who's not. But when we come back, 4 down territory. That is straight ahead here on Sactown Sports.
Local bragging rights are on the line this Sunday for the Causeway Classic of basketball.
Lost the handle, picked up by Milling, up ahead to Jonathan, ahead of everybody, and then we are tied.
UC Davis hosts Sacramento State in the Causeway of Hoops.
Lee down to Johnson with 3 seconds. Johnson takes it straight to the rim. Layup, got it with 0.8 seconds to go. And the Aggies have done it.
Play-by-play begins Sunday at 5 on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It's Wednesday. We're looking at a cool start to the morning with some patchy areas of fog. Look for increasing clouds this afternoon. It'll be a dry day today with light winds. Highs will peak in the mid-60s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Winter's coming, so let's kick off the cold season right and get your heater all tuned up. Now just $79. No matter how cold it gets outside, you'll always be warm and toasty inside. Plumbing, sewer, electrical, heating, and air, Bonnie.com.
Pro football player Travis Kelce is pressed for time during the football season. So he does 2 things at once. Whether it's grilling while mowing.
2 things at once!
Or getting this season's updated COVID-19 shot at the same visit as his flu shot.
2 things at once.
You can be like Travis and ask your pharmacist about getting this season's COVID-19 shot at the same visit as your flu shot if you're due for both, as recommended by the CDC. Learn more and schedule at VaxAssist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
When you switch to Boost Mobile, you can get a free Samsung Galaxy A23 5G and a pretty powerful way to get after it.
Like me, Tusi, a man who fell in love with music and fell on hard times. From writing songs in my room to sitting on top of the charts. All because I made poetry out of pain. And I always knew I'd be on the stage singing your favorite song.
Switch to Boost and get a free Samsung Galaxy A23 5G phone on America's largest 5G networks.
Boost Mobile. Get after it.
New customers only. Taxes extra. 1 device per line. 5G not available everywhere. Other restrictions apply.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave letting you know Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room and primetime football location is back. Cap Casino giving away $500 per game in high hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game, offering the best food, best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region and conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. Check it out. Capital Casino. And as always, please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is the moment you've been waiting for. Hanley's Kia in Davis is bringing you an unbeatable deal on all 2024 Kia models. Drive home in style without breaking the bank. Introducing Hanley's Kia incredible leasing option for just $199 a month. Picture yourself behind the wheel of a brand new 2024 Kia, loaded with the latest features and cutting-edge technology. Whether it's the sleek Niro Hybrid with 54 mpg and EV6 with up to 310 miles, the versatile Sportage, or the family-friendly Telluride, at Hanley's Kia, you can also reserve your luxurious full-size EV9 with 3 rows that has the comfort of a stylish interior and the peace of mind that comes with driving a brand you can trust. Head over to Hanley's Kia today, located in Davis.
New 2024 Kia Niro Hybrid EX for $199 per month for 36 months after $7,999 customer cash due at signing plus $300 military customer rebate. 10,000 miles per year and 20 cents per mile after 30,000 miles based on sale price $30,545 and payment excludes taxes and DMV fees and any dealer fees. Vehicle ID number R5136138.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Prestigio Jewelers Black November sale is on all month long. Get amazing doorbuster deals while supplies last. 1 carat diamond earrings only $449. Wedding sets starting at only $899. 70% off gold chains and much more. Get quick and easy credit approval and low monthly payments at Prestigio Jewelers. No credit, bad credit, even bankruptcy, you're approved. Prestigio Jewelers guarantees your credit up to $10,000. Shop designer brands such as Cartier, Gucci, Bulova, and Citizen. Visit us today or online at prestigiojewelers.com. See store for details.
The sewer system. It's probably the last thing on your mind, and that's okay. Because at the Sacramento Area Sewer District, it's our first priority. As the region's largest sewer utility, we own and maintain thousands of miles of sewer pipe. And our job is to get to your sewer problem before it interrupts your life. So whether you've got a slow drain or a backup, call us first, day or night. The Sacramento Area Sewer District. It's a dirty job, but we're happy to do it.
They bleed black and purple. It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on your local sports leader, Sactown Sports.
Still to come at the top of the hour, Emil Fragoso, our Sactown Sports 49ers insider, will join us. Big game tomorrow, 49ers Seahawks, right here on Sactown Sports. Turkey Day festivities. But it is that time.
Gobble, folks.
Yeah, time for that. Time for 4 down territory. Let's do it. All right, Chris, what you got for first down?
What is your lock of the week?
Oh, these are our Friday special questions. So we're going to win lock of the week because we got 3 games tomorrow. There is a game Friday as well. The first ever Amazon Black Friday game, I guess. Sure. Okay. That was Mrs. Kelsey, right?
Huh?
Who's that?
That's Matt Barrows.
Oh, no, I'm thinking of, I know, I was thinking of.
It was okay.
That's Mrs. Kelsey.
Did you see how she felt sorry for it? For that answer?
Oh, from the Today Show that we played? No.
She said, like, I didn't want to seem like type of like a big fan. I didn't want to blow everything out of proportion.
And she didn't, it made it weird.
So she made it just she made it a little too under.
Yeah. So we got that. What's their other? Oh, there. Carmichael Dave's dad, Jack. That's how you feel about the Friday game? Oh. Friday is who? Dolphins and Jets. All right, so lock of the week. I'm looking at big spreads here. I'm looking at the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys have been smashing bad teams, with the exception of the one loss they had this year to the Cardinals. But their schedule hasn't been that tough. Commanders are kind of a mess. Cowboys have been good against teams like this, blowing them out. They're at home. Thanksgiving, they're generally very good. I think my lock of the week is the Cowboys tomorrow defeating the Commanders.
What is your second down? What is your upset of the week in the NFL?
All right, upset of the week for me, I'm looking at, all of a sudden, I've, for whatever reason, starting to believe and get Texans fever. Texans are at home. They're underdog by 2 to Jacksonville. This is a huge game for both teams. Jacksonville 7-3, Texans 4-1 at home, but 6-4 overall, and they've just been getting better and better. And I've been impressed by DeMeco Ryans, and I'm going to take the Texans. What's going on in there?
I picked up Trevor Lawrence because I thought they were playing at home.
That's okay.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Trevor Lawrence was available?
It's an 8. I don't want to go into it.
Gotcha. Did you have a quarterback get injured?
Cousins.
Oh, yeah. Okay. No, I think he'll be all right there, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. My upset of the
felt
week
more confident that he was at home.
Before that, yeah. But how about this, Chris? The Jags are 4-0 on the road.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, I'll take the Texans as my upset. Again, only 2-point underdog. But yeah, Texans, my upset of the week. Third down.
Which NFL game would you most like to attend this week?
Okay, well, one of them, obviously, I still want to go to your favorite place, Chris, Seattle. just because of what people say about the stadium. Now, I'm not wouldn't look forward to a Thanksgiving game in Seattle. I wish that game was on Sunday. So that part, if I take that out, because that is going to be a qualifier that removes it for me. So then, the one I'm actually looking at, usually I'm thinking great atmospheres, places I'd like to go. I haven't said this yet. I don't know why, and I haven't been there yet, though.
Is it the same place I'm thinking?
Vegas?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Vegas for the Raiders and Chiefs would be fun.
Our guy, Hondo Carpenter, he was saying that he's expecting it to be majorly overloaded for Kansas City fans.
Which, isn't that abnormal, but maybe is this the one? I don't know. Kansas City spending Thanksgiving in Vegas, staying around, going to the game.
Actually, it would be tough, though, because the F1 stuff just happened.
Yeah, but isn't it cleared out? Well, I don't know.
It's going to take a while to clear
Vegas is
out.
so good about, piping those people in and out and then shuttling them through. But I think this would be the one, the atmosphere. And really, I want to see the stadium. Vegas is unique. It's one of a kind. It's a place you need to be about. What's the Vegas limit, Chris? Isn't it kind of universal, like 3 days?
I would say, I'm trying to do the math, 60 hours.
Yeah, 3 days, somewhere in the 3 day range.
You cannot make it 3 days.
Not 3 full days.
Not 3 full days.
So arriving on day one, like in the middle of the day, spend 1 night, 2 nights, leaving on the 3rd day.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's the way. So in this case, you would go in Friday, sometime midday. So you get Friday night in Vegas, you get all of Saturday, go to the game Sunday, and then you're out of there.
Yes.
Yeah. I got to do it. I want to go to a Raider game. I like the Raiders, and you'd see our guy Mahomes.
Yeah.
Right. I think that's the game. That's the game to go
The
to.
thing is, you used to do like Raider games, right?
Yeah, I worked Raiders for 3 seasons.
I can't see the atmosphere being anything like Oakland.
No,
Vegas.
and I know they've shown pictures of whatever the version is of the black hole there. It doesn't even.
No,
it's not the same. But it looks like a great venue.
It's like you would go there and it wouldn't be full because they still had it tarped off.
Yeah, Mount Davis,
and it was so loud in that stadium.
Yeah, and just walking in Raider, it's just everywhere. Like who's the one saying it? The tailgate was pretty legendary there at the Coliseum. So that would be
a couple of guys who didn't make it from the tailgate to the game.
I think that happens all the time. I'm sure there's some people that just paid for parking and didn't have tickets. Like I just want to be out here the whole time, turn the radio on, be a part of the festivities. So there you go. All right, 4th down.
Which college game would you most like to attend this week?
All right, there's some good selections. Obviously, I'm thrilled to be attending the game I'm going to be at, which is Sac State in North Dakota. Grand Forks, the Alara Center. Temperatures, Chris, are in the teens. We're in a dome, though. We're in a dome. Be all right.
Still, you have to get out of the dome.
Just like hood up, gloves on, hat on. But look, there's some games to check out this week. Certainly some great rivalry games, but I would have to pick Michigan, Ohio State. It's in Michigan. I want to go to the Big House at some point. Actually, this week in a game you've been to before, Notre Dame, Stanford. You've been to that one at Stanford, right?
Yeah, a couple times.
Did you go to the one, if I'm not mistaken, the one where it was the last time they were playing at the old stadium?
Yes.
And then that was the one I remember seeing it on TV where they literally had bulldozers.
Yes.
Because you guys had to get out because they were starting the process of tear down.
As we were leaving, and they had hey, this is a final game, blah, 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 blah.
Get out.
And they left the field. The bulldozers were coming onto the field. It's oh, this is crazy.
I think I was at the old building, maybe working Kings and watching that game, and they were literally showing the shot, and you're going, man, they're going to start work because I forget which donor wrote the check. I'll build this new stadium, but it has to be ready by the start of next season. I'm like, there's no way they can do that. Well, you pay enough money, and they had it done.
The thing too, it's all the time. The old Stanford Stadium, of course it's old.
Yeah.
But it was such an easy ticket to get. It was a cheap ticket to get, and just having a good time. And then new Stanford Stadium is great, but it's just
it's just different.
It's a building.
Yeah. It's smaller. It's quaint. I mean, it was probably smart to build it small. The other one had a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
In the old Stanford Stadium. And when Sac State played there this year, we're down on the field before the game. You go, it's in the same spot, but you're like, man, you believe there was a Super Bowl played here? Now, it's years later, but Notre Dame, Stanford this weekend. But I'd pick Michigan, Ohio State. One, the magnitude of the game and the fact that it's at the Big House. I just know. I have always wanted to go to Michigan to see a game. Is there any other places out there, college football-wise, Chris, that you wanted to attend? I mean, Tennessee always has a ton of people.
I always heard about LSU.
LSU at night supposed to be great. I think Ole Miss, like their tailgate's legendary.
Yeah,
that's all I want. SEC.
I don't want to go to the game. I just want to go to the tailgate.
Yeah, and see what it's really like. Because I mean, what would you say is the biggest college game tailgate experience you've seen?
I don't think I've seen one.
Okay. I mean, Stanford has one. It's not like,
which is weird because you're in the woods.
Yeah.
And
you are like parked amongst trees, and you're like, "Where's the stadium? Where
and you're
are
like,
we?"
You're like walking in, and you like run into like families doing things that they're not supposed to be doing.
What game did you go to?
Stanford, Notre Dame. It's like seeing a dad and son light up something before the game.
Well, they're enjoying themselves. College football's got a really good lineup this weekend, so hopefully you get a chance to check that out. All right, there you go. 4 down territory taken care of. When we come back, we ask these questions. Who's hot? Who's not? Also, we've got 3 in the key. Some predictions for tonight's Kings and Pelicans game part 2. Kings got to be better tonight, and we'll discuss that and more as we continue here on Sactown Sports.
Can the Niners build off their NFC Championship appearance from last season? How will the quarterbacks perform throughout the year?
Purdy back, now going to throw for the end zone, wide open, Brandon Ayuk is on fire!
Will the defense lead this squad again?
Intercepted! Ball got tipped up and taken by Fred Warner!
Get all your 49er coverage throughout the NFL season on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Hey, what's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. What's happening for Chrysler's Black Friday sales event?
We just added even more savings. Now you can save up to $16,500 off MSRP on new 2023 Ram 1500 crew cabs with no payments for 90 days. And we have trucks starting as low as $29,995.
Wow. And what about the last of those Dodge muscle cars?
Right now, save up to $6,500 off MSRP on new 2023 Dodge Charger and Challenger GT and SXT with no payments for 90 days. And we even have thousands off MSRP on Scat Packs, Hellcats, and special editions too. And we're turning back the clock and saving you thousands with financing as low as 4.99% for 84 months on all new and used vehicles in stock.
See our full selection at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period. 16.5 total net savings after 11,000 factory rebates and 5,500 dealer discounts. Rebates include $1,000 case construction cash. Must have purchased eligible case equipment from qualifying dealer. 5% net savings. $29,995 truck number 123158. 65 total net savings after 2,500 factory rebates and 4,000 dealer discounts. Rebates include $500 first responder cash for eligible first responders only. No payments for 90 days on approved credit through Chrysler Capital. 4.99% for 84 months. OAC through Travis Credit Union. $14.15 per thousand borrowed.
Get ready for the Gin Blossoms at Gold Country Casino Resort. Get your tickets now at goldcountrycasino.com. The Gin Blossoms. January 13th at 8 p.m. Only at
Gold Country Casino Resort.
Must be 21 or older.
It's the season of performance event at Acura of Stockton. Elevate your driving experience with a vehicle that's built to impress. Lease a new Acura RDX or MDX. Acura of Stockton has a great selection of new Acuras and customer service that will exceed your expectations. Take luxury to a whole new level in a new Acura from Acura of Stockton or AcuraofStockton.com, where precision crafted performance is at your fingertips.
This could be the start of a break-in.
Stop. This is Simply Safe.
Or the end of one.
Police are on their way.
Introducing the latest innovation in home security. 24/7 LiveGuard protection, only from Simply Safe. Now, agents can see and speak to intruders through our new indoor camera to help stop crime in real time and for fast police response. Get 20% off any new system with Fast Protect monitoring at simplysafe.com/radio. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
This is Jeff Scott. Did you know there's a way to outsmart COVID if you get it? Now, there are medicines that can treat COVID whether or not you've been vaccinated, which is great news, especially if you're over 50. If taken in the first 5 days of having symptoms, COVID medicines can help stop the illness from getting serious. Call a healthcare provider or the statewide COVID hotline at 833-422-4255 to learn more about COVID medicines. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
At Ashton & Price, over the last 25 years, we've won just about every injury case you can think of. Slip and fall, falling merchandise, fell through rotted decking, we won those. Dangerous stairs, falls into holes, dog bites, won them. Injured while pedestrian or on a bicycle, auto, motorcycle, big rig, company vehicle, Uber, or Lyft accident, we've won them all. And the best news is there's no fee until you win. So no matter how you got injured,
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Get year-end pricing during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on our entire selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Ridgeline Civics, and Accords. Plus, with low finance and lease options, now's the time to buy. Hurry in and save during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, or go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda. One-stop Honda shop.
What's hot and what's not. Brought to you by American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Head to AmericanEnergyAir.com to find out more.
What's hot?
Yeah, hot. Real hot. And what's not?
It's not good. Brought to you by American Energy Heating and Air, Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company, and second opinion partner.
It is time to figure out who is hot, who is not at this point. Chris, what do you got for us?
It's got to be Tyrese Halliburton, right?
Tyrese.
You remember him.
I do.
I think the Kings traded the wrong player.
339-1140. Your thoughts?
No, I don't really believe that. Last night, he had 26 points, 4 assists. He was 8 of 9 from the field and 7 of 8 from behind the arc. In the third quarter, he finished the night with 37 points, 16 assists, 5 rebounds, 11 of 18 from the field, 9 of 15 from the three-point line. And the Pacers, 157-152 win over the Hawks.
How many overtimes? None. Yeah.
I mean, the Kings did that against the Clippers, but
yeah, whatever.
Who cares?
Are you in this spot with Tyrese was one of my favorite Kings ever. I
love Tyrese.
Really love Tyrese.
Especially since he's a huge wrestling fan too.
Yes. And then I got so disgusted with just kind of the talk between Tyrese and DeMontis and just how some people would frame it and kind of that. They traded the wrong person. He's a future star, blah, blah, blah. It almost I found myself sometimes rooting against him. Like, what am I doing? I like him. I like Tyrese Halliburton. I don't want him to not succeed.
It's such a stupid thing too, because like when your team makes a trade, you want your team to do better.
Yeah. But they did just
but
great.
It's very new. I don't know. Maybe it's been around forever and we're just seeing people talk about it because of Twitter.
Yeah.
But there's this idea of I need to get a steal out of this.
Right.
Not only do I need my team to do better, I need a team that traded for my player to do worse.
Yes, exactly. And so it's like I found myself sometimes I go, oh, well, look, Sabonis, he was great, all NBA, and the Kings made the playoffs. Tyrese did. And I'm like, well, I don't care about the Pacers. I'm not rooting against Tyrese, but I found myself sometimes doing that. And I'm like, all right, I gotta stop thinking that way because I like to watch him play. I like his style and I like him. And so when you say like right now he's hot, like I'm glad they're advancing. I'm glad that he's having a great year. He's going to be an all-star. He's a great player. I have no issues with that.
I mean, the thing that we all had a problem with was when he would talk about the trade with the Kings. And like the first time, it's just like, man, that does suck.
Yeah,
you do
really
feel
hurt him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he would keep talking about it.
Yeah.
Keep talking. And then he'd be like, well, they keep asking. It's like, because you keep talking about it and people keep getting clicks out of it.
And then I cycled through there. People are like, stop talking about Tyrese, grow up. I'm like, no, Tyrese is cool. And I'm like, wait, now which side am I? I just felt like I was, jumping all over the place on him. But now I'm good with him. So good for him. Glad he's playing well.
At their best, Fox and Halliburton and Sabonis can all be Hall of Fame basketball players.
Absolutely.
Let's say the Kings win a championship and the Pacers win a championship.
Cool.
There will still be pieces from both fan bases who are like, oh, well, no. The Pacers got the better of it. Oh, no, the Kings did.
And I don't know why there has to be that constant in this one, that measurement, or this draft pick went 2 versus 3 and they won that. It's like, enjoy what you've got. Enjoy what you've got. All right, so who's not hot?
The Detroit Pistons.
Oh, man.
Washington Wizards.
Mm-hmm.
Memphis Grizzlies.
Mm-hmm. I'm sensing a theme.
And San Antonio Spurs. Spurs have a chance to change it, but all of them did not win a game in the in-season tournament. All have been eliminated.
Woof.
So I'm guessing those fan bases don't like the in-season
exactly. Detroit. It was funny. I said this the other night in the Kings, maybe a halftime or post game sometime with Henry. And I said, Detroit now has lost 12 in a row. He's like, 12 in a row? There hasn't even been 12 games. I said, well, they're just enough. They're at 15. 2-13. They were 2-1. What were they thinking when they were 2-1? Now they're 2-13.
And how many people are like, oh, Pistons are the team to watch?
Yeah, Kate Cunningham's back. I mean, there's some good young talent. Monty Williams.
Stinky.
Well, they're playing for Wembanyama. Oh, he's what? Drafted? He's gone? He's on a team?
Incredible.
But I know the Kings will play them twice. I already know the narrative. Can't lose to a team like Detroit. Well, Detroit will get some wins. I hope it's not against the Kings.
I
hate those games.
I don't mind playing a team on a winning streak.
Yeah.
I hate playing a team on a losing streak.
Especially that large.
Yes.
Like they're Detroit's not gonna lose 40 in a row. They're gonna beat somebody, and they're gonna beat somebody good at some point. You're like, how do you lose to Detroit? You do. Actually, who are their 2 wins against? Care to guess? I mean, it's totally random, Chris. I don't know if you know.
I am going to say the Charlotte Hornets.
Okay.
And the surprisingly Chicago Bulls.
Are you really guessing? Yeah. Are you promising me you're guessing?
I'm guessing. I'm not even going to be close. Stop. You're messing with me.
That is the greatest guess of all time. Are you serious?
I'm being dead serious.
You're 100% guessing. There's no point
I didn't know you were going to
up.
ask me who they were.
In game 2, they defeated the Charlotte Hornets 111-99. In game 3, they defeated the Chicago Bulls 118-102. You're not messing with me.
I want to say I remembered Charlotte Hornets, but it was a complete guess with the Bulls.
Wow. Serious?
I'm being serious.
Oh my goodness.
I am not crying wolf.
Okay. All right. Well, then let's play this game one more time. The Washington Wizards have 2 wins. They are 2-11. Care to guess who their 2 wins are against?
I am going to guess the Wizards beat the Orlando Magic and a weird one, the Boston Celtics.
Okay. Their 2 wins are also against the Charlotte Hornets and then Memphis Grizzlies.
Oh, see.
Okay.
See, but now me getting both of them wrong makes you think that I still cheated on the first one.
Yeah, it does. All right. So let's try one more.
No, because it just makes me look stupid.
I can't believe you got both exactly right on that other one. That was impressive. All right. Well, we will do some predicting anyway. Not guessing on that. It's time for 3 in the Key for tonight's Kings-Pelicans game. I don't know that anybody in your family will care, but you could try that Detroit Pistons trivia. Hey, do you guys know who the 2 wins are for the Pistons? Because Christopher Laud knew.
I call myself Christopher Laud in front of my family.
All right, here we go. 3 categories, 3 predictions for you and I, Chris. Let's start with one I like to bring back a couple times here. The last made basket tonight by the Sacramento Kings. I'll go first. I think it's going to be a close game, and I've got Mr. Fourth Quarter, Mr. Clutch, De'Aaron Fox with the last basket for the Kings.
I think it will also be close, and I think that the Pelicans will double Fox. He's going to kick it out to Keegan Murray.
Keegan. So he's playing.
He's playing tonight.
Keegan Murray.
And if he's not there, Monk will be there.
Okay, I'll give you the caveat for Monk, just because we don't know. Keegan's questionable at this time. All right, next up. Both the superstars for the Sacramento Kings struggled last game. Off games by them for sure. So we are looking for total points from De'Aaron Fox and total points from Domantas Sabonis. I have 29 for Fox and 20 for Sabonis.
I'm going to have 15 for Sabonis and 31 for Fox.
I can't tell if that would be in a win. 15's a little low for our guy in the paint.
Oh, well, you'll see him, I guess.
Okay. And lastly, as always, a random stat. Something different, something weird, odd, whatever. Just something you're calling your shot on. A random stat. I am going to go with, it's going to be a little bit heated tonight, a little bit physical.
Chippy.
Refs are going to clean this up. So I have probably too high of a number, but I'm going to put it out there. There are going to be 4 or more technical fouls in this game.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you got, Chris?
Sabonis will have a triple-double.
Oh, with 15 points to lead the way, but who cares?
15, 14, and 11.
Well, at this point, I know you're going to be exactly right. You're guessing everything correctly. So Sabonis with a triple-double, 15, 14, and 11. I like it. I like it a lot. There you go. We will still have later in the show in the next hour, one more time at a prediction. Pick 6 coming up in our second to last segment. Coming up still in the show, Niners at 9. Our insider, Emil Fragoso, will join us. It's a busy couple days here, but the 49ers will be in action tomorrow on Thanksgiving, taking on the Seattle Seahawks, a game that can be heard, in fact, the entirety of the triple header right here on Sactown Sports. I've seen, by the way, we brought up earlier, we played that clip, if you haven't heard it by now, with Stephen A. Smith getting a call. Is that his own show that they're calling him in on? What was that?
Yeah, it's the Stephen A. Smith show.
Okay, I know he has a show. I know he used to do radio. That looked like, I don't know if it was a version of TV / like their version of YouTube or whatever, but he was called and asked about the greatness of Lightning McQueen on Cars as the Piston Cup winner. Is he the GOAT? And Stephen A. challenged him. Then Chris asked the question, the best fictional character, athlete of all time. You had some back and forth with someone telling you Roy Hobbs from The Natural. Now, Roy Hobbs was good, but I wouldn't have considered him the greatest fictional athlete.
No, because you have to also compare them to athletes that played that sport.
Okay.
So Roy Hobbs had about 400 home runs, give or take.
Okay.
There's so many other baseball players that had more.
Yeah.
Oh, and also I'm going to use the Ohtani argument. He didn't pitch.
So he's not a two-way guy. You did bring up someone, though, interesting. We talked about Sandlot earlier, not Benny the Jet, but
Mr. Myrtle.
Yeah, James Earl Jones' character. What was his story?
He played against George, Babe Ruth,
Yeah.
and he would have beaten his record too, except he took a fastball and he went blind.
Yeah, got hit in the head, right, or the eye, and so he was. At least he said he would.
He said he would have beaten him.
And you know, look, you got to.
What does he have? I mean, he had the all the 27 Yankees autographed baseball, so
Yeah.
of course he would know.
You should see what the 27 Yankees had, though. They had his autograph, I'm sure.
I bet.
If he was that good. All right, break time for us. We'll come back. Final hour of the week, really of the day as well for us. We're off tomorrow and we're off Friday, but it's a good hour ahead. Niners at 9, 49ers insider Emil Fragoso. He will join us when we come back on Sactown Sports.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sactown Sports has you covered.
San Francisco! It's all on his shoulders. Cox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Start planting your garden this weekend with Bonnie 11.8-ounce vegetables. Buy 4 for $10. Plus, liven up your patios and decks with fresh blooms. Select 1.5-gallon hanging baskets or 2 for $20. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. In-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
It's the Black Friday Sell-a-thon at Folsom Lake Ford with low prices, low finance rates, and a $500 Amazon gift card on selected vehicles. Now through Monday, shop your truck headquarters, Folsom Lake Ford. See dealer for details.
Prestigio Jewelers Black November sale is on all month long. Get amazing doorbuster deals while supplies last. 1-carat diamond earrings only $449. Wedding sets starting at only $899. 70% off gold chains and much more. Get quick and easy credit approval and low monthly payments at Prestigio Jewelers. No credit, bad credit, even bankruptcy, you're approved. Prestigio Jewelers guarantees your credit up to $10,000. Shop designer brands such as Cartier, Gucci, Bulova, and Citizen. Visit us today or online at prestigiojewelers.com. See store for details.
Pat Green and Diamond Rio live in concert Saturday, December 9th, 7 p.m. The venue at Thunder Valley. Country music icons Pat Green and Diamond Rio with special guest Mark Wills. On sale now at ThunderValleyResort.com. Pat Green and Diamond Rio.
For a business to thrive, there needs to be a constant stream of new customers. This happens through strong lead generation. Did you know that lead generation is one of the most important tools of any marketing campaign? Let us help you identify your target audience and market your products and services to them. To get started today, contact aimyourdigital.com. That's aimyourdigital.com and start seeing results today.
This is the moment you've been waiting for. Hanley's Kia in Davis is bringing you an unbeatable deal on all 2024 Kia models. Drive home in style without breaking the bank. Introducing Hanley's Kia incredible leasing option for just $199 a month. Picture yourself behind the wheel of a brand new 2024 Kia, loaded with the latest features and cutting-edge technology. Whether it's the sleek Niro Hybrid with 54 mpg and EV6 with up to 310 miles, the versatile Sportage, or the family-friendly Telluride, at Hanley's Kia, you can also reserve your luxurious full-size EV9 with 3 rows that has the comfort of a stylish interior and the peace of mind that comes with driving a brand you can trust. Head over to Hanley's Kia today, located in Davis.
New 2024 Kia Niro Hybrid EX for $199 per month for 36 months after $7,999 customer cash due at signing plus $300 military customer rebate. 10,000 miles per year and 20 cents per mile after 30,000 miles based on sale price $30,545 and payment excludes taxes and DMV fees and any dealer fees. Vehicle ID number R5136-138.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your new home for 49ers football in the 916.
Sactown Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then boom,
with Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
Show here on Sactown Sports, SactownSports.com, the Sactown Sports app. However you're consuming us today, busy travel day. Be safe out there. Be smart. Be careful. Get to your destination safely and enjoy your Thanksgiving holiday. Hopefully everybody gets some time off with family and friends and loved ones out there. And enjoy your time. Lots of sports to watch and follow tomorrow with a triple header of NFL action, including the 49ers. And speaking of the 49ers, joining us right now, our Sactown Sports insider, Emil Fragoso, joining us. Emil is brought to you by Timber Creek Golf Course. Visit timbercreekgolfcourse.com to book your tee time today. Emil, how are you this morning?
Good, Jason. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing well. We were talking Thanksgiving traditions, and what's a Fragoso family tradition on Thanksgiving? Anything you guys do that kind of been happening over the years in the past?
Yeah, well, that's a tough one now because of my job, so I don't really get to have the holidays with the family anymore. You know how it is in the business. But in the past, just meeting with the family, going to Las Vegas. A lot of my family is down there. A lot of the Fragosos are down in Vegas, so we go there and have a big family dinner there with the cousins and the aunts and the uncles and all that great stuff.
What's the best thing you guys usually cook on Thanksgiving? Is there a tradition there food-wise?
It's pretty much the typical stuff. I'm more of a ham person, though, than a turkey person in general. Fine. So I'll eat more ham than turkey, but I love me some stuff and love me some mashed potatoes, love me some mac and cheese, all that great stuff.
All the perks of Thanksgiving. Yeah. Tomorrow you will be working because the 49ers are playing. They're set up in this game. It's a battle for first, Emil, because of what it's going to be that way either way. Niners got the benefit in one sense where Seattle lost last week. The Niners won. Let's start first with the 49ers in their game last Sunday against Tampa. And just how great Brock Purdy was. I mean, the passer rating, the efficiency, the control of the offense. Your thoughts on what you saw in person of what Brock did on Sunday?
Yeah, everything you guys saw on TV is what you saw in person. Brock Purdy is the real deal and kind of has been since he took over Week 13 against Miami Dolphins with Jimmy Garoppolo. I mean, this guy just in 17 games around the sun, a full NFL season, has over 4,000 passing yards, 31 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions as a rookie. That's just astounding numbers for a player that was the last pick in the NFL draft. And just this year, especially, him and the deep ball have really been a great mutual partnership for this Niners offense. It's really expanded them downfield. Brock Purdy is now number 1 in air yards, 20 plus. He has over 665 passing yards there as well. So not only is he great in the short intermediate routes, but he's pushing the ball downfield now too, which you didn't think would be possible after, having UCL surgery this year.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I have zero doubts about him. I don't think the Niners do. I don't think Kyle does. It doesn't matter if there's national narrative about anything else. To me, Emil, the only thing that's missing now is like kind of the last of the playoff wins. He's got playoff wins, but an NFC Championship or a Super Bowl. To me, that's all he's got left to check off the list.
Yeah, it really is. And that's kind of, a lot to say for a 23-year-old kid that just started his NFL career of like, hey, can you just go win us the biggest games of the year, right?
That's all.
But the Niners think they can do it. The Niners really think he can do it, and they really believe in him. Deshaun Gibson was just on KMBR recently and goes, man, I don't think you guys have enough time to talk about how good Brock Purdy is as a person, as a leader, what he brings to this locker room. He goes, I really think he's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. And for guys like Gibson, guys like Kittle, guys like Fred Warner to say all these great things about Brock Purdy, they don't have to. They're just saying it out of the goodness of their heart because they truly believe that this guy is the real deal, and they believe he can take them to really great things because of not only his talent on the field, but also the way he handles the biggest moments, never up and down, very even-keeled kind of person, very humble into himself. And that's what they're looking for out of a quarterback, is just to be a leader, be a surgeon on the field. And that's what Brock Purdy is for the 49ers.
It still ended up being a win. That's the most important thing. The offense was pretty good. The defense, I got to give Baker Mayfield his props here, Emil. He stayed with that game. He made it a bit stressful. I mean, I never thought the Niners were going to lose, but you're like, man, why is this not over yet? Defensively, what were your thoughts on the game with Tampa?
Yeah, it was more the Niners typical, where it was a bend, don't break defense. There was a lot of that last year against the Saints, against the Commanders, against the Cowboys. A lot of that bend, don't break defense. They did give up air yards because their secondary isn't the best. And I will say they did play a lot better. And actually, guys like Ambry Thomas, Amador Lenore, Javarius Ward, they only allowed Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, 2 Pro Bowl, Super Bowl caliber receivers, 83 passing yards on 19 targets on the day. So while Baker still had 246 passing yards, their top weapons were taken out pretty effectively. And that was kind of their bread and butter against Tampa Bay. And then obviously those 2 goal line stands in the fourth quarter were massive for that team. So again, getting back to their bend, don't break defense is really huge for them. And then getting turnovers and sacks and picks, which they are now number 1 in the NFL at 14 on this season. So that's really what they're doing, is that they're at least, while they are letting air yards happen, they're not letting up the big scores happen. And that's really what they're looking for under Steve Wilkes.
The worst part of the day had to be the injury to Talanoa Hufanga. I just feel for him, what he means to that defense, the spirit kind of behind, there's so many high profile defensive players, Emil, but kind of just that he's just another guy to there that they need out there. What's that going to do to this team, losing him?
Yeah, losing Talanoa Hufanga is definitely a huge loss for them. He's really one of their do-it-all players, can blitz from the safety spot, can cover, can track down tackles. He really does everything for them and fills in that gap that Deshaun Gibson, the aging Deshaun Gibson, can't always do, But they have a guy in Jair Brown, their rookie safety they traded up for in the 3rd round, who is a very, very talented player and showed his caliber in the 4th quarter with 4 tackles, 3 pass breakups, and a pick to end the day in just 1 quarter. So I do think it's a loss to lose a guy like an all-pro player like Talanoa Hufanga, but I think they were kind of hoping that Jair Brown could do a redshirt season similar to how Talanoa did his first season with the Niners and then come on for Gibson later on in his career. Now he's thrust into the spotlight and all the cameras are on him, and so far he's passed the test, so hopefully that can keep continuing for the 49ers moving forward.
Yeah, and I mean, you mentioned he made the biggest plays of the game defensively that they needed, so I hope that carries over confidence-wise, confidence in his teammates and him, and that's an important part of the defense, that back end there. And Hufanga, as you said, did so many things special teams wise too. And, he's just been around for so many different parts of I do feel like that's going to be a big loss.
Yeah, I do. And it's, he's been having kind of an up and down season considered it was all pro last year. He does have 3 interceptions on the season already. And he actually has 52 combined tackles down to Hufanga. So he was really all over the field for them and registering a lot of big hits for them. But he did have times as well that he would get caught, peeking a little bit, get caught watching the ball a little bit and letting deep passes go over the top of him. I know Jair did the same thing against Tampa Bay Buccaneers in that one play. But Talanoa wasn't perfect. He wasn't. He was a do-it-all player for them, but he wasn't perfect. He had a lot to get better at still. And I do think the Niners under Jair Brown, I don't think they're going to say they're going to skip a beat. But I do think he's a very talented player that Niner fans should kind of like breathe a little easier about, because I do think he's going to end up being that starting safety for them moving forward next to Talanoa.
I want to get into the Seattle game with you in a minute, but what do you think the Niners thought of Monday night's game where the Eagles came back? I thought they were going to lose that. That was going to pull them a little bit closer in the standings for the Niners at the top spot with a chance at the top spot. What do you think the Niners internally were thinking about that Eagles comeback?
Yeah, I would say that I watched that game as well, and I would say, yes, in poor conditions, they didn't score a lot of points. It was kind of up and down game. The Chiefs don't have any wide receivers, all that great stuff. Two teams that, in my opinion, are definitely beatable, the Chiefs and the Eagles. I think the Niners look at that and go, the Eagles are the tougher opponent just because of the history and because of the way they play, the physicality they play at. But the Niners have a real chance to make a claim here in the second half of the season to being the best team in the NFC. Not just NFC West, but the NFC because of how talented they are all over the field. And they can just stay healthy, which is a big if with this Niners team, especially. They can just stay healthy. They can really supplant the Eagles at 9-1. Not record-wise, because if the Eagles keep winning, they're not going to pass them that way. But just in talent overall, and then beating Philadelphia week 13, which is going to be a huge matchup for them. If they go into the link and beat the Eagles, that's going to be a real tell that we're not afraid of you this year. We're not afraid of what happened in the NFC Championship game. We're here now. We're here to stop you guys, and that's where they're at. But again, 1 week at a time. They got Seattle first, then the Eagles, then Seattle again.
All right, well, let's kind of talk about that. We're going to take a quick break here with Emil Fragoso. We will step aside, come back. Emil, hang tight. We got more with you. We got to look at this game tomorrow. A huge matchup with Seattle. Battle for first in the NFC West. We'll preview that next.
The San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks square off this Thursday at 5 on a primetime Thanksgiving matchup.
Going deep down the sideline for RU. He's got it, and he's gone. 20, 10, 5, touchdown! San Francisco!
It's a battle for the top spot in the NFC West. San Francisco and Seattle. Right here on your home for 49ers football. Sactown Sports.
Winter is coming. I know you know that, but are you prepared to keep your family warm all season long? At American Energy Heating and Air, their goal is to exceed your expectations of the heating and air industry by valuing the customer experience and making your home comfort system as efficient as possible for the most value. So book your $49 furnace tune-up and safety inspection today. Prevent dangerous gas leaks. Extend the life of that furnace and save on your energy bills. And here's the guarantee. This isn't a sales call. They're not getting in the door so they can try to sell you a bunch of stuff. No, they're just going to do what they say they're going to do. Call today to schedule an appointment at 916-520-9990 or go to AmericanEnergyAir.com. Been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Get your $49 furnace tune-up and safety inspection today. 916-520-9990. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
Carmichael Dave.
He has very good sources, and he just kind of tells it as it is and gets to the point.
Jason Ross.
He has a lot of pretty smart things to say. He's good at what he does.
On Sactown Sports.
All right, back here with Emil Fragoso, our Sactown Sports 49ers insider. Of course, Emil is brought to you by Timber Creek Golf Course. Visit timbercreekgolfcourse.com to book your tee time today. So, Emil, Thursday football, odd week. None of the players like that. Also, they have to travel. Mm-hmm. So, some disadvantages for the 49ers going into Seattle, at least as far as prep goes. But huge magnitude game here, Emil, because the Niners currently have the top spot in the NFC West. Seattle lost last week, but Seattle knows, look, a win tomorrow, they're right back in a tie, and they've won the first leg of the two games they play. So it feels like a huge game tomorrow for both sides.
Yeah, it's a huge game, not only for the divisional standings, but also just for the overall bragging rights on Thanksgiving. I know the last time these teams met on Thanksgiving, Seattle beat the Niners at Levi's Stadium and had the little turkey leg dinner on national TV. And Niner fans are pretty upset about that still. They kind of want to get their lick back this week, and I hope that the team also feels that way going into Seattle of like, hey, we can get some bragging rights over our divisional rivals here on Thanksgiving.
As far as the Niners go in the short week, prep-wise, any other guys that got banged up a little bit? Not like, Hufongo we know is out, but anyone else that might be in jeopardy of missing because of the short week?
Yeah, the offensive line has kind of been banged up, unfortunately, for the Niners. Both Spencer Burford, their right guard, and left guard Aaron Banks are questionable to play. I would say right now Aaron Banks is more likely of the two to play. He did return to practice this week in limited fashion yesterday for their one session, whereas Burford was out with the knee injury. Burford would be fine if it was a regular week, like a regular Sunday game, but because it's a short week, holiday week, they're kind of pushing towards keeping him out, let him go, making sure he's healthy to go for week 13 against the Eagles. Whereas Banks, they kind of do need him back. And if Banks does come back, John Feliciano, their backup swing guard, will swing to the right guard spot instead of the left guard spot. So a little plug and play action there. But besides that, the team is relatively healthy, which is a good sign for them.
As far as Seattle goes, we know that Geno Smith got knocked around a little bit last game, ended up coming back in. I think he's going to go this week, but losing potentially Kenneth Walker. I know Metcalf's on the injury report. What does it look like for Seattle's wounded list coming into tomorrow?
Yeah, they got a couple guys, and they've already lost a couple people to IR. I know Abraham Lucas, their right tackle, has been out for a while as well. So they're definitely banged up. I do think Geno does play. That Pete Carroll said there was a good chance he does return for that game. He was limited yesterday as well, which is a good sign for his availability. It's an elbow injury. It's not an elbow like ligament tear. It's more of like a contusion of just getting the swelling down and making sure that it's fine. But the Niners do see that as, hey, that's an advantage for us. So they're going to try Geno and try and get him rattled and get his elbow more fatigued. And if they can do that, it's going to be a tough game for the Seahawks, because if they can't throw in the Niners, that's kind of the whole way to beat the Niners right now is to throw on them, because their run defense is very, very stout and very strong. And without Kenneth Walker, their leading guy, yes, they have Zach Charbonnet, the rookie out of UCLA, but Kenneth Walker has been a night and day revelation for them, one of their better running backs in recent years. And now that he's out, hopefully coming back soon with its sports hernia injury, I believe it is. But this team, the Seattle team, is very much on the brink of, hey, we might be out of the divisional standings here shortly, and maybe even playoff standings shortly, because they have a really tough schedule on the horizon.
Is there any takeaways from last year? I mean, the Niners beat them twice in the regular season. Of course, had the playoff win. Brock Purdy's got some good knowledge of them. I know these games play differently each year, but anything to take from that 3-0 sweep last year for the 49ers, scheme-wise or game plan-wise?
Well, if you talk to Brock Purdy, nope, nothing. They know Brock's. They're all going to say the same thing. They're all going to say there's nothing to take from him. But I do think he has a competitive edge over him. But yeah, they're a different team. They're different players, and they have to kind of prepare for it each week at a time. And see what Seattle's doing this year is a little bit different than what they're doing last year. And Geno's kind of regressed in that way. So maybe they see it even as an advantage this year compared to last year, because Seattle was really hot last year at this time when they played them, and then the playoffs when they played them. So I do think they're a similar team, but they are different. And if the Niners can expose their pass defense, which is one of the worst in the NFL, that's going to be kind of their whole thing. And they did that on primetime and then again in the playoffs, putting up 41 points on them in the wild card week.
Emil, we talked to Matt Barrows earlier in the week, and he said he's heard from multiple players from the 49ers. They love to play in Seattle. Obviously, it's loud. It's a great atmosphere, but they just love it because it just, as a visiting player, you know everybody's engaged. You got to be on top of your game. Yep. Are you hearing more of that too? How much just going up there, how much the 49ers enjoy that?
Going up to Lumen Field, you mean? Going up to 12?
Yeah.
I don't know if any Niner fan enjoys going up to Lumen Field, but Niner players might, because they know they can win this game, especially considering last year they won this game at Lumen Field. It's a hostile environment, one of their toughest tests of the year because of the divisional bragging rights and standings. And I do think the players are up for it, amped for it to get another win over their divisional rivals and really kind of, I wouldn't say settle it, but this next 3 weeks can really settle the division if they really play their cards right. If they go 3-0 in the Dirty Bird sandwich, as I like to call it, then they kind of have this done. They kind of have this on wrap with Seattle. So I know it's 1 week at a time and don't take your foot off the gas, but they have a real chance here to end this divisional stuff and really look forward to, hey, can we get the 2 seed? Can we get the 1 seed in the NFC? Can we get a first round bye? And that's what they're kind of shooting for, is getting that first round bye with the Eagles going up and down in these games. So we'll see what happens.
There was a time where there wasn't a better rivalry. I mean, certainly when it was Harbaugh and Carroll and just the Legion of Boom and the Niners. I mean, it was as good as football got with the rivalry. I don't think it's like completely gone, but it almost feels like on Niners fans' radar right now is maybe even the Cowboys, more certainly the Eagles. Where would you put this rivalry right now for the 49ers fans on their list?
It's probably their biggest rivalry.
You still say so? Okay.
Yeah, it's probably their biggest rival. Like, I get it. The Eagles rivalry and all that stuff, they don't like each other. I understand it. But Seattle Niners is the biggest rivalry in the NFC West. It is the most hated one and the most hostile one out of all of them. I mean, I just did my Return to the Empire podcast with Nate Littlefield, our co-host, who's a big Niners fan. And he literally said on record, on the recording, he goes, "It's so hard to not cuss when talking about Seattle because I hate them. I hate them." And I'm just giggling and laughing like a kid over there because I don't have that hatred for Seattle. I don't like him, but I don't have that hatred for Seattle like Nate does. So to have him on the podcast and really express it without obviously profanity, but it was just really great to see because there is still so much love not lost for this team.
I know we have people, Emil, remembering you on the chat, remembering you saying about Seattle. So they're wondering if you have love for Seattle.
No, I don't have love for. Can we squash this, please? I don't have love.
We can do it right here, right now.
I don't have love for Seattle. I actually didn't like when the Niners signed Richard Sherman because of how much I didn't like Seattle. I remember back when they fumbled the punt return and Seattle won that divisional playoff game back in the day. I have all those hard feelings too. I don't like Seattle, the Seahawks. The Supersonics are okay for me. I don't have any beef with them, but I have beef with the Seahawks, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, it was also fun yesterday in studio. I know I saw you yesterday, but had Imran in here, your co-host with the True Sports Card Show on the weekend. He was talking about Brock Purdy and his valuation in cards. Like there's a lot of Brock Purdy fever for collectors right now.
Yeah, Brock Purdy is the number one collector right now, right there with De'Aaron and others. But Brock is the guy. If you're collecting like Niners players or just football players in general, Brock is the guy right now because he's and it makes sense, right? He is a young quarterback and a really relatable person to a lot of young people because he was an underdog. You know, he's not 6'4", 6'5", you know, a first overall pick. He's the last pick in the draft. He's just a regular laid back guy. Shows up to his pressers in a backwards hat and a t-shirt and a hoodie. And he's just a regular person. And I think people relate with that because he's not trying to be flashy or anything special. He's not Micah Parsons. He's not Trevor Lawrence. He's not Joe Burrow. He's just Brock Purdy. He's just authentically himself.
I know you're a collector / investor. Do you have any good Brock Purdy stuff?
I do not. I do not collect any football stuff. It's kind of an ethical thing for me. I don't collect the teams I cover. I don't collect the sports I cover. So I have a huge basketball collection actually off to my right over here. But besides that, no, I do not collect any football.
Gotcha. Well, we hope you enjoy the game tomorrow. We know people are going to read your stuff on Sactown Sports to recap it and look ahead to what's next for the 49ers. So the Eagles are on the horizon. Happy Thanksgiving to you, Emil, and we look forward to talking to you next week.
Happy Thanksgiving to you, Jason. Happy Thanksgiving to you, Chris. And happy Thanksgiving to everyone in the chat. Hope you have a great holiday season.
All right. Thank you. That's Emil Fragoso, our 49ers insider, helping break down the big matchup tomorrow for the 49ers and the Seahawks. Again, a game you can hear right here on Sactown Sports. All right. We will step aside when we come back. What to watch. Also, a pick six for the 49ers. Some predictions on that game for tomorrow. Chris and I will have that when we come back here on Sactown Sports.
The San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks square off this Thursday at 5 on a primetime Thanksgiving matchup.
Going deep down the sideline for RU. He's got it, and he's gone. 20, 10, 5, touchdown! San Francisco!
It's a battle for the top spot in the NFC West. San Francisco and Seattle, right here on your home for 49ers football. Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It's Wednesday. We're looking at a cool start to the morning with some patchy areas of fog. Look for increasing clouds this afternoon. It'll be a dry day today with light winds. Highs will peak in the mid-60s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
You know what time it is. It's time to trade up to a brand new Kia at Folsom Lake Kia. Trade up to the newest technology with a low payment. Shop Folsom Lake Kia, family owned for over 20 years.
At Ashton & Price, we get injury victims to yes. Experience, yes. Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years. No more insurance companies? Yes. Our clients focus on getting better, and we handle all the rest. Results? Yes. We've collected over $100 million for injury victims. No fee until we win? Yes. Our clients pay nothing until we win. Ashton & Price, the best at getting to yes. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of the Drive of the Game. Now listen to every Kings game for Gary Gerald's Drive of the Game call. Then listen to Jason and myself the next morning for a chance to win a $100 Jiffy Lube certificate, courtesy of all the Jiffy Lube locations in the greater Sacramento area. Get your vehicle ready for the holiday driving season at Jiffy Lube today. Oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. For more information, go to jiffylube.com.
Hey, what's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet, a Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. What's happening for Chrysler's Black Friday sales event?
Right now, save up to $17,500 off MSRP when you lease a new 2023 Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xE. I've been in the business my entire life, and I've never seen savings like this on one of America's favorite SUVs.
Wow. Almost $20,000 off MSRP is pretty awesome. What about those Jeep Wranglers?
You can save over $16,000 off MSRP when you lease a new 2024 Jeep Wrangler Willys 4xe. And yes, I did say 2024s, and I did say Willys. At Hoblet, we're working to save you money on what you want, not last year's leftovers.
If you want a new Jeep, there's only one place to go. Plus, get 4.99% financing only at Hoblet Dodge. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period. 17.5 total net savings on lease only after 14.5 factory rebates and 3,000 dealer discounts. 16,000 total net savings after 13 factory rebates and 3,000 dealer discounts. Rebates include 7,500 federal tax credit, subject to change without notice. 5 at each net savings. Special 4.99% financing for 84 months on approved credit through Travis Credit Union. Must have 740 plus FICO score to qualify and be eligible for membership. 14.15 per thousand financing dealer for details.
It's easy to think all money managers are pretty much the same, but at Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
Different? How? You sell high commission investment products, right?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission-based investment products.
Well, you must earn commissions on trades.
Nope, never at Fisher. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in our client's best interest. It's the highest standard of care for a financial advisor.
How do you know what's in their best interest?
We get to know our clients and then tailor a portfolio based on their goals and needs.
But you probably sneak in some hidden and layered fees.
No, we have one transparent management fee, structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, you really do look out for your clients.
That's because our top priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. It might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investments and securities involve the risk of loss.
The game of football is about pain. Ever since I was 5 years old, it's been all about football. It's been about running, jumping, blocking, tackling. I stopped playing at 31.
You're listening to Michael Robinson, retired pro fullback.
I thought that foot pain was going to be with me for the rest of my life. I'm so glad I met Good Feet. I'm so glad that those arch supports are in my shoes. I had terrible foot issues that prevented me from really having a normal life with my kids. With the Good Feet arch supports, man, I'm always ready. My kids actually got to enjoy me in the yard more, racing each other, backpedaling, teaching them some things, being a dad. If I had known about the Good Feet arch support earlier, I would have more than one championship. I would have 2 championship rings.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and Vacaville. It's the biggest automotive event of the year. This coming Saturday, Elk Grove Kia is unleashing Black Weekend. We're talking vehicles starting at an unbelievable $500. Yes, you heard it right, just $500. Brand new 2024 Kia Fortes are yours starting at an incredible $178 a month plus tax. These deals are so hot, they won't last. Worried about your credit? Fear not. We've got you covered. No credit application will be turned away. Hurry in this weekend to Elk Grove Kia because it's first in, first served, and these deals won't last. Visit us at elkgrovekia.com or see us in the Elk Grove Auto Mall.
2015 Chevy Malibu, 129205 and 2008 Mazda 3121836, $500. Price does not include government fees, taxes, document processing charge, and electronic filing charges, any emissions testing charge. 2024 Kia Forte GT line lease for $178 per month for 24 months plus tax. 750 Kia lease cash plus $34.95 per down payment. Deal sign. Residual $18,580 based on 10K per year, 27 per month. Over no security deposit required. Kia finance tier 1 approval subject to prior sale. With this payment, GK 91, 3 GK 91, 6 expires 11/31.
Elk Grove Kia.
They bleed black and purple. It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on your local sports leader, Sactown Sports.
Back here on Sactown Sports, Jason Ross, Christopher Lott. Coming up to Styles and Watkins. As we'll have a little crosstalk. Celebrity birthdays coming your way in our final segment. What to watch tonight? Well, this is a night that belongs to the NBA. Tomorrow's the NFL. No NBA tomorrow. 3 games all could be heard tomorrow right here on Sactown Sports. Tonight, of course, the Kings. Oh, Chris, you were pretty good at guessing earlier in the show. Every single team, 28 of the 30 NBA teams are playing tonight. Can you name the 2, which I'm sure you haven't looked this up. Can you name the 2 teams that are not playing tonight?
We've got quite a few on here.
Yeah, that are listed. I'll go over some of those games in a minute, but just.
So I'm going to say the Chicago Bulls.
Okay.
You know who's not playing tonight? Seattle Supersonics.
Well, that's wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Real one. I am going to say it is going to be the Clippers.
Clippers and Chicago Bulls?
Yes.
You too. Incorrect, and they were both Eastern Conference teams. One Chicago's an Eastern Conference team, but it's not them. The Knicks are off, and the Pistons. Those two teams don't play for whatever reason today. But what to watch besides Kings Pelicans? That's the game you need to check out, of course, right here with the G-Man on Sactown Sports. Western Conference games of note / overall NBA games. First East, you get the Bucks at the Celtics. That's a really good game tonight, and the Heat at the Cavaliers. That should be good. Interconference, you got the Nuggets at the Magic. Also tonight, the Grizzlies at the Rockets. I'm still trying to figure out Houston. I know when they were 0-3, then they won, 6 in a row, and I think they've lost their last couple. I think everybody's like, yeah, look at this team. Watch out for them. They got to figure them out. You got to play the season out. I mean, you really do. What is Houston now? Yeah, they've lost 3 in a row again, so they're 6-6. Lost their first 3, won 6 in a row, now lost 3 in a row. So they are 6-6. Currently, the Kings at 8-5 sit in the 5 spot in the Western Conference playoff picture. Top spot is Minnesota. Right behind them, a half game back, OKC and Denver. Then you got Dallas, a half game ahead of the Kings. Then Lakers, Suns, Pelicans, Rockets, Warriors. That would be your top 10 at the moment. Clippers on the outside, Jazz, Grizzlies, Spurs, Blazers. Those last 3, at least right now, I think Memphis will get better as the year goes along. But remember, they got to wait 20. Is it 25 games for Ja or 20? It was 25, I think.
25.
Yeah. So they've got 12 more to go before Ja Morant.
He's going to say, you know what? Why don't you make it 40?
Yeah. Well, at this point, and I don't think Memphis will do this with intentionality, but knowing that they already lost Steven Adams for the year, Brandon Clark is, coming off an injury a year ago. They got a few other people banged up and Ja out for 25. They're the kind of team, because they're so young too, that they wouldn't tank on purpose. But you could picture them if they were a lottery team and got a good draft pick and did some good things for agency, like they could bounce right back near the top of the West in just 1 year. But, their season's not done yet, but 3-10, that's a pretty big deficit to climb out. But also tonight, we mentioned the Grizzlies and the Rockets, 76ers at Timberwolves. That's a good one. I'll have some intrigue with the Warriors at the Suns. Chris mentioned the linear championship, the impact of that. Suns 8-6, Warriors 7-8. Phoenix still has yet to play a game with their big 3. All 3 haven't been in a game together yet with Beal, Durant, and Booker. And then the last game we'll tell you about, at least of the ones that of note to watch, the Mavs and the Lakers. Mavs and Lakers tonight. All right. Well, let's do it. Let's do a little pick 6 NFL style here. We did our 3 in the key. We got to do this for the 49ers and the Seahawks. They play tomorrow. And so let's get a little NFL bet going here for the 49ers pick 6. 2 different people picking. That's you and me, Chris. Writing our stuff in as you get our bed together. Okay, here we go. Music bed ready. Let's make our picks. Pick 6, Chris. First 49er to score in tomorrow's Thanksgiving Day game.
It will be, I'm going to steal them from you, CMC.
CMC. Well, you know what? I'm going to agree with you. I'm not even changing my mind. That guy, plus I got a fantasy lean there with fantasy football. I have him in a couple leagues. It's great to have him. This was a true story. I'm in a keeper league. We've had Christian McCaffrey for the better part of about 4 years now. I literally had this discussion with my brother, who I shared this team with, about a day or 2 before the draft. Chris, I said, should we rethink keeping McCaffrey? What about Nick Chubb? And Chubb was really good last year. And we had the conversation for probably about 30 seconds. I planted that seed for my brother. He's like, no, we're overthinking it. You got to keep McCaffrey. I'm like, yeah, you're probably right. You're right. Let's keep McCaffrey. Wow. So glad we did. Couldn't have foreseen the injury to Nick Chubb, but he was really good last year. But McCaffrey's just ridiculous. All right, speaking of Christian McCaffrey, then, we want total yards, receiving and rushing yards for Christian McCaffrey. I've got him at 141 for total yards.
I'm going to go with 150.
Okay. Next, we are looking at the defense. We're looking for pressures, but no, we're looking for sacks. Sacks of the quarterback by the 49ers defense. I'm going to give them 3.
I'm going to give them 3.5.
3.5 sacks for the team. Okie dokie. Now we're looking for the stat line for Brock. Brock Purdy having a tremendous season, coming off a perfect passer rating. What do you have for his stat line? So we're looking for, completions, attempts, yards, touchdowns, interception. That kind of thing.
Completions and attempts?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Let's throw it in there.
Okay.
Too far?
22 of 31. 24 of 31.
24 of 31.
265 yards.
Okay.
2 touchdowns. No interceptions.
Nice. I'm not far off. I have 21 of 27. 244. 2-0. So we're very, very close on that. What will be the longest play from scrimmage? How many yards? The longest play in the game?
33.
Okay. And I have 33, and I'm going to put a little star on it. It's going to be from CMC.
Oh.
Yeah. And then lastly, a random stat, much like we do with 3 in the key. Random stat from the game. Something different, something odd, something weird.
I am going to say there will be a failed onside kick.
Oh, I like that one. It's a good call. Very good call. Failed onside kick. And I'm going to say Moody, a walk-off first half field goal.
Oh.
Walk-off first half field goal. Okay, there we go. 49ers, Seahawks, tomorrow, right here on Sactown Sports. All right. We got a lot of spots. We got Bills all backed up and commercials to be played. So we're going to break here. We'll come back. We'll have our final segment. We'll bring in Styles and Watkins. We've got celebrity birthdays, little crosstalk with them as well. We'll close out the show. We'll do that next here on Sactown Sports.
Can Mike Brown build on last season's Coach of the Year award? Can the Kings exceed 48 wins?
We will be better prepared to make the run that we expect to run come next playoff.
Tune into every Kings game this season on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Sactown Sports is home to the Kings, Niners, and now the business of sports. Hosted by Kelly Brothers and brought to you by Cap Trust, offering customized, independent financial advice at captrust.com. Join Kelly Brothers, Carmichael, Dave, and Jason as they look at the business of sports every Thursday at 7:40 a.m. You want to know how sports really work? Follow the money with Kelly Brothers from Cap Trust on Sactown Sports.
If you're a luxury car enthusiast, Mercedes-Benz of Stockton invites you to experience the Mercedes-Benz of fully electric vehicles. And your first Mercedes-Benz electric car comes with bonus cash back of up to $7,500 and 2 years of prepaid vehicle maintenance on select models. Purchase or lease a Mercedes-Benz all-electric car and receive 2 years of complimentary charging. See our gorgeous Mercedes electric vehicles at mbofstockton.com.
It's no secret to golf enthusiasts that Timber Creek and Sierra Pines in Roseville are one of the region's most unique and scenic places to enjoy a great game of golf. 27 holes, boundless options. Elevate your game on our newly renovated driving range, putting green, and chipping area. Whether you're aiming for fun, lower scores, or all-around growth, we've got you covered. Experience golfing dreams in Roseville and book your tee time at timbercreekgc.com. Timber Creek and Sierra Pines, your ultimate golf haven.
The Black Friday weekend sale begins this Friday at Boot Barn. Visit us in store for savings on top quality pieces. Get up to $40 off cowboy boots for men and women, $20 off select work boots, and select children's boots for under $50. We're closed Thanksgiving Day to spend with family, but we look forward to seeing you Black Friday weekend for our biggest sale of the year. Boot Barn. Unwrap the West.
Does your dog leave frowny piles of poo around the yard? Did you know that a solid poo is one of the best indicators of your dog's gut health? Supreme Source Super Premium Dog Food is made with organic super seaweed and other powerful antioxidants, supporting a healthy digestive system. Real protein is always the first ingredient, plus a blend of essential vitamins and minerals to help support your dog's overall health and well-being. Do their digestion a solid, literally. Find Supreme Source Premium Dog Food at Safeway, Safe Mart, and Winco, or a local grocery store near you.
The sewer system. It's probably the last thing on your mind, and that's okay. Because at the Sacramento Area Sewer District, it's our first priority. As the region's largest sewer utility, we own and maintain thousands of miles of sewer pipe. And our job is to get to your sewer problem before it interrupts your life. So whether you've got a slow drain or a backup, call us first, day or night. The Sacramento Area Sewer District. It's a dirty job, but we're happy to do it.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave letting you know Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room and primetime football location is back. Cap Casino giving away $500 per game in high hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game, offering the best food, best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region and conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. Check it out. Capital Casino. And as always, please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
It's time for the news of the day.
The latest headlines, the biggest stories, hard-hitting analysis.
Yeah, this is none of those things. And now, here's Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross.
Yeah. Woo! We got Styles and Watkins in studio ready for their show. You guys ready for Thanksgiving?
Very much so.
Yeah?
Yeah, very much so.
Can't wait.
You told us the other day about the Popeyes turkey. That's en route, right?
That is en route as long as my sister remembered to thaw it. It takes 3 days to thaw.
Really? So it's I thought like it was one of those things where you get it already.
I didn't know what the situation was.
I always wondered about it.
Yeah, she called me and told me. She's like, we've got it thaw for 3 days. And I purposely didn't ask her because she's a grown woman.
It's on her.
We're going to see. Yep. We're going to see.
And then you're going to go, I told you.
Yeah. Well, look, I don't know what we're going to do. We're going to be frying it like you are.
Yeah, okay.
To try to thaw it.
Best Thanksgiving traditions you guys have, or do you have any that are kind of family customs or whatever?
Nothing really in particular. I mean, of course, just sitting around the TV watching football and,
So is it
like
a feature thing or a backdrop? Like for us, it's kind of the backdrop. Now, if the game, gosh, 2 minutes to go, this looks like a great finish, we all kind of stop, but it's usually in the background.
It's featured for its time, and then once dinner is going, nobody's really paying attention to the TV. I have an uncle who's a big Cowboys fan, so sometimes, we're locked in more times than others.
There's always one in each family.
Yeah, there is, man.
There really is. One. Yeah, we, as far as the food is concerned, we'll eat, do all that good stuff. But really, we stay pretty true to no Christmas music before Thanksgiving.
Okay.
So that's like when we start to whip out the Jackson 5,
the music comes
Stevie
out at
Wonder.
some point.
Yes.
Okay.
Later in the evening, football's over, or even the night, whatever the night game is, the Christmas music comes out.
Okay. We were talking about this earlier, Chris and I. I don't know who set this up or why it started, but why is Thanksgiving dinner like around 2? You never eat dinner at 2?
So you can eat seconds.
Early. Yeah.
Right?
I think that's it. But like if you had a family dinner in June, it's 5, 6, 7, 8 o'clock, right?
Yeah.
2 o'clock, basically. It seems like 1 to 4 is when people eat. Isn't that weird?
Yeah. And my mom asked, she said, hey, what time do you want to eat? I don't know, what were you thinking, 2 or 4? I said, if we eat at 4, I'm going to be very upset.
Too late?
Way too late.
So
way too late.
You need 2 or 3.
I need to eat at
2 o'clock.
Yes.
Do you guys eat something in the morning or much in the morning?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you
usually
do?
I'm a big snacker. Yeah.
Oh, so it's something that's also prepared from the family.
Yeah,
no,
for sure.
not just like
not for me. No, Bel Air prepared it.
Okay.
Oh well, yes, of course, yeah. Usually Trader Joe's.
Do you already have everybody together for the breakfast, whatever, or is it like, hey, you're going to a house, so the first meal is the Thanksgiving at 2 to 3 to 4?
Depends.
Yeah, it depends. I have a couple family members who like to show up earlier than others, so it's sometimes it's a little bit like, okay. Well, someone's got to
my boxers now or whatever.
So, and then you always have the cousin who has to make rounds, and then by the time they get to your house, dang, y'all ain't leaving nothing, dude. It's 7 o'clock. What?
We ate 4 hours ago.
You missed it, buddy. We were number 3 on your list.
Yes. Alan wanted to eat it too.
Yeah. Gosh, you know the deal.
Yeah. Let's see what day it is today.
But there's
guys.
also that one family member who's like the last to arrive right when everything is getting put out.
Yeah.
And then while you're still eating, all right, guys, I'll see you next year.
Yeah, and then is the second meal, so if that's at 6, 7, 8, is that just, I don't know, whatever you can fit on the bread, or like just, there's still a little more turkey. It's just whatever you're feeling. Besides dessert.
As you know, based on the potluck, I like to gorge myself. So I just go seconds.
First plate is heavy.
I just go seconds right there.
Yeah, it's a full
and then
meal.
I'm just on the couch for the rest of the evening. And then it's time for my apple pie. That was going around social media. One pie's got to go. And it was apple pie, pecan pie, pumpkin pie, and sweet potato. And things got a little dicey because I believe Dan Orlovsky wanted to get, I think it was sweet potato pie out of here. And then Marcus Spears said, Dan, I'm upset that I knew what pie you'd choose.
Yeah.
Pumpkin pie, much like turkey, is one of those things like, if it's so great, why don't we have it all the time?
Yeah.
I kind of get like
on the
pumpkin.
list, it was pumpkin for me that you said right there.
To get rid of. Okay.
I have to pick one. It's pumpkin.
I haven't had enough pecan pie to speak on it.
And then pecan.
That's pretty good.
Pecan. Either way.
I guess it's pecan.
But
I guess
that's the one you get rid of?
Just by default. I just haven't had it.
Okay. What would you say, Chris?
All of them.
No.
Oh, here we go. I forgot.
He's not a pie guy
At all.
Not even a
But
little.
why don't you say you like the pies that you do eat that you don't consider pies?
I believe I said the one that really got Chris upset was I said I like key lime pie yogurt.
Oh.
But not the actual pie
I was
itself.
like, I thought you were going to stop at key lime pie. I'm like,
Yeah,
that's a pie.
that's
yogurt.
And chocolate silk pie. Great.
Yogurt?
No.
Oh.
Just
pie?
That's pie.
I feel like pie's got to have fruit in it. I don't
No.
know why. I just feel like
Pie
it's got
is
to.
a crust with filling. That's a pie. That's why pizza is a pie.
This is a slippery slope to go down.
You can't just sneak that in there.
Need more details. Today is where did this go? National Taiwan Day, and it's not the typical thing that people think of as like another drink or whatever. It's actually like it's a shout out to the apron. You guys own an apron?
No, but I should.
I have one too that I don't wear. Like, I barbecue enough or do enough. Like, it would be perfect, but I
just forget
I don't feel like people wear aprons enough.
I'm still in the mode where I'll just wear, if I know I'm going to grill or
it's like
be
a
frying
t-shirt,
something, I just wear an old shirt.
Yeah. National Jukebox Day.
Okay.
That's cool.
Jukeboxes have actually...
Are they coming back? Or?
Well, they've actually evolved pretty well. You'll go out these days and you can, you pay your money and people still like to do it.
Yeah,
they
that's
still
fun.
like
Yeah.
to do it.
Cool.
So
You want to hear a song on
app
demand?
now too.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
You just kind of preload.
Really weird thing. I knew someone where they thought it was really funny because there was like a local spot and we were about 3 miles away and they said, you want to see something funny? I can mess with their music from here, but you couldn't hear.
Sick
You
prank.
couldn't
Yeah.
hear it, but
It's like, dude,
or
they're
their
listening to Sweet
reactions,
Home
they're like,
Alabama
they're
right
probably
now.
hating it right now.
I'm ruining their night.
The thing you do, and what's crazy is like Jukebox, I found out are starting to get rid of it. What me and my friends used to do is you would put your last song as Indigada of Eden, which is an 18-minute song, and then you just take off.
And you walk out.
We stayed there once just to see what the reaction was, and there's a lot of people just like 10 minutes in. Wait, this is the same song? What's happening?
Over? Yeah. It's also National Cranberry Relish Day. Cranberry is a tough one on Thanksgiving anyway, but cranberry relish.
No, I'm in. I
You're
eat
into
it
cranberry?
actually.
Out of the can or like the real stuff?
Well, my mom, we've made it before.
Yeah.
I'll do can. I love it. I think it adds a much needed sweetness to the dish. And go over to Mr. Pickles and get a hot tea, and it's got cranberry on it. That's my number one order all the time.
Wow. The more
All
we
the
know.
time.
The more you know.
Cranberry pie.
Yeah.
It's
Cranberry pie, a little bit of
No,
ice cream on it.
No,
Yes.
thanks. Absolutely
All
not.
All right.
Cranberry juice, Chris.
No, I like it mixed with a different juice, like
Gotcha.
cran apple. Or
See,
something
I'm
like
out
that.
on that. I
Yeah.
just leave it straight.
Cranberry
Cran
juice
grape?
is way too bitter. Cran grape is really good.
Yeah.
Cranberry by
No.
itself is way too bitter.
I'm a sour guy.
Interesting.
Isolate that.
I'm a sour guy.
All right, it's time for Celebrity Birthdays, brought to you by our friends at Crumble Cookies. Birthdays are meant to be spent with family and friends, and nothing brings family and friends together better than Crumble Cookies. Happy birthday today to Scarlett Johansson.
Mm.
Wow, that got a
Crumble cookies would be a great thing to bring to Thanksgiving.
That's acceptable.
Yes. I would love it if someone brought crumbles
It's
to
actually
Thanksgiving.
probably good because now you've got, maybe 10, 15 people
saying,
there.
yeah.
Slice that
if
up.
you can get the patent pending crumble
Cutter.
cookie pizza.
Do they have
or
those
cookie cutter?
at Crumble? Do they
I think
sell
so,
you
yeah.
the cutters?
Yeah, because
All right.
that is a good idea.
It's so good.
Then
Yeah.
slice these up, little tasty treats.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And, variety as well.
Right,
you know?
right.
I'm sure they got something great for Thanksgiving specifically, too. Do we plug enough? Is that enough of a plug? Okay.
47 for Scarlett Johansson.
Scarlett Johansson, we'll say 45.
See, I don't like this because I'm pretty sure me and her were born the same year.
Oof.
So 39.
Oof.
We have a correct answer. 39.
Wow. The olds.
Happy birthday, Jamie
Lee Curtis.
Ooh.
Lynn
Fox.
Spears.
The top.
Jamie Lynn Spears is a good one.
Fox.
Yeah, I don't have any Jamies.
Well, Alan already got it. Jamie Lee Curtis. How old is Jamie Lee Curtis?
She's 57.
57.
I don't think that's right.
I didn't ask.
I'll say 70. I don't know.
Oh, I think he might be up there. I'm going to say 68.
So 57, 68, 70. Chris Verlot is the closest. 65.
Wow.
For Jamie Lee
I just
Curtis.
watched Freaky Friday the other day.
Hey, she just got her Medicare card. Good for her.
Happy birthday, Mark.
Ooh,
Summers.
Zuckerberg.
Summers, Zuckerberg.
Mark Jones.
Mark Jones.
Ooh,
Be cool. Mark Ruffalo.
wow, it's an Avengers theme day.
Yes.
Yes.
Happy birthday to Mark Ruffalo. The Hulk.
He's great in Foxcatcher.
I've heard that movie's great.
I watched that movie on mute. It was on a plane and somebody else was watching it. I watched the whole thing.
I do that all the time. What is it about
Yeah.
Then
that?
I feel like I watched the movie.
That is a funny one. Like, I go, gosh, I think I need to see this movie.
Yeah.
I'm like, that looks really good. I don't know what this is, but that looks good.
Yeah.
Mark Ruffalo. Good, and now you have you seen? Now you see me. Now you see me.
And now you see me too.
I've been off all
Great,
day.
so
I'm gonna go 51.
I'll say
with the junction 51.
I'll say 46.
I was going to say 51. I'll go in the middle, 48.
All right, Alan, you won 56.
I needed that.
Happy birthday! Let's see if you guys can get this correct name. Juju
Smith-Schuster.
Yes. Happy birthday to Juju Smith-Schuster.
The TikTok star.
Yeah.
What he's about to be exclusively these days.
Yes. Juju. 26.
Okay.
I'll say 25.
I'll say 24 then.
All right, Alan, 2 in a row, 27.
Yeah, he was really young
Yeah.
when it came out.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Billy.
Eilish.
Okay.
Idol.
Billy Zane.
Happy birthday to Billie Jean King.
Mm.
How old is the famous tennis player Billie Jean King?
I'll say 65.
Okay.
I'm gonna say 71.
No, I
Anyone? Chris?
I'm going to say 77.
Chris Verlod for the win. Billie Jean King, she is turning 80 today.
Oh,
Ooh,
boy.
she looks great for her age.
Looks great.
Does.
Happy birthday. This will be an interesting one what you guys come up with. Brock.
Lesnar.
Purdy.
From
That
Pokemon.
one tight end for the Raiders, son.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Brock Bowers.
Brock Osweiler.
Oh, the Brock
quarterback.
Lobster.
How old is Brock Osweiler? I think like 6'8" or something.
Yeah.
Massive. Brock Osweiler. We'll
33.
say 31.
29.
We have a correct answer. Alan Styles.
Oh,
38.
man. All you need is a little self-loathing.
Yeah,
to-
you're just sinking us. You're like baiting us in.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Brandon.
Ooh.
Marshall.
Lee.
Ayuk.
Oh, wait. Oops.
Brandon Miller. The
Oh,
number 2 pick
okay.
overall in this last draft.
I mean,
The Charlotte Hornets.
Youngin, right? 20.
Yeah. 20.
I'll say 19.
Oh.
I'll say 20.
2 20s and a 19. He is actually 21.
Wow. Old man.
We'll give a few more over the weekend. Tomorrow, happy birthday to Miley
Cyrus?
Yes. How old is Miley Cyrus tomorrow?
That's an interesting one. I'm going to go. I don't know why I'm looking at Chris. I'm going to go
Scarlett's
30.
39.
30.
30.
Yeah, I'll say 32.
I'm going to say 34.
You guys split 31.
Mm.
All right, now I'm going to do rapid fire. Alan, you get to wish happy birthday tomorrow to Snooki. How old is Snooki?
Snooki is 42.
Snooki turns 36 tomorrow.
Sorry, Snooki.
Chris, here's another one. DJ Khaled on November 26th.
Khaled's
Sunday.
46.
He's 48.
Wow.
Chris Ralad on November 25th. Happy birthday, Christina Applegate.
She is 47.
She thanks you for that. She's 52.
Wow.
52. All right, what's coming up next, guys?
Yeah, a lot of Kings, a lot of turkey talk, and, Brock Purdy and the MVP conversation. Should he be in it?
Yeah.
We'll talk about it.
I think so.
Kings Roundtable as well.
Nice.
Yes.
All right, it's all coming up next on Styles and Watkins here on Sactown Sports.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour every week with Frank LaRosa on Sactown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Start planting your garden this weekend with Bonnie 11.8-ounce vegetables. Buy 4 for $10. Plus, liven up your patios and decks with fresh blooms. Select 1.5-gallon hanging baskets or 2 for $20. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. In-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Arnold Law Firm.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It's Wednesday. We're looking at a cool start to the morning with some patchy areas of fog. Look for increasing clouds this afternoon. It'll be a dry day today with light winds. Highs will peak in the mid-60s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
The recent storm has caused dangerous driving conditions for us. The Arnold Law Firm has seen how a collision can turn anyone's life upside down. Be alert and stay safe. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777.
At aimyourdigital.com, we'll help you find the right customers. Spread awareness of your product or services. We can help build trust in your brand and services with a digital marketing campaign. Increase leads and get more customers. We create tailored digital marketing campaigns that deliver results. Don't wait. Get started today. Contact aimyourdigital.com. That's aimyourdigital.com and start seeing results.
Get year-end pricing during Happy Holidays at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on our entire selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Ridgeline Civics, and Accords. Plus, with low finance and lease options, now's the time to buy. Hurry in and save during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, or go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
I always approach the holidays with a sense of excitement and a time to be with family. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa for Naturewood Home Furnishings. For me, the best times were when there were 3 generations all celebrating together. Today, we're the grandparents, and the holiday spotlight shines on my grandson. And I hope he'll remember holidays the way his papa does. Right now, Naturewood Home Furnishings will help you create your own kind of holiday memories during their holiday home sale. Unique gifts found only at Naturewood, like hall trees, curios, chairside tables, and more, are available at savings of 20% off. During Naturewood's holiday home sale, you'll find savings all over the store for every room in your home. Find your perfect bit of Christmas for your home at Naturewood Home Furnishings holiday home sale going on right now. The memories you make with your family will live with you forever. Naturewood Home Furnishings off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Hey, what's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. What's happening for Chrysler's Black Friday sales event?
We just added even more savings. Now you can save up to $16,500 off MSRP on new 2023 Ram 1500 crew cabs with no payments for 90 days. And we have trucks starting as low as $29,995.
Wow. And what about the last of those Dodge muscle cars?
Right now, save up to $6,500 off MSRP on new 2023 Dodge Charger and Challenger GT and SXT with no payments for 90 days. And we even have thousands off MSRP on Scat Packs, Hellcats, and special editions too. And we're turning back the clock and saving you thousands with financing as low as 4.99% for 84 months on all new and used vehicles in stock.
See our full selection at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period. 16.5 total net savings after 11,000 factory rebates and 5,500 dealer discounts. Rebates include $1,000 case construction cash. Must have purchased eligible case equipment from qualifying dealer. 5 of this net savings, $29.95, truck number 123158. 65 total net savings after 2,500 factory rebates and 4,000 dealer discounts. Rebates include 500 first responder cash for eligible first responders only. No payments for 90 days on approved credit through Chrysler Capital. 4.99% for 84 months. OAC through Travis Credit Union. 14.15 per thousand borrowed.
Are you or someone you know having trouble staying warm? American Energy wants to make sure you and your family are comfortable this holiday season. They're giving away a free whole home HVAC system to one lucky family in the greater Sacramento area. If you or someone you know needs help staying warm this winter, enter for a chance to win the American Energy Comfort Giveaway. Go to theaeway.com and enter to win a free whole home HVAC system. That's theaeway.com.
Red Hawk Resort Casino is the best place to go all in and all out. Go all in at our table games, then go all out to win on the area's only 3-story indoor kart track. Or go all in for our famous award-winning buffet. Then go all out at our state-of-the-art 18-lane bowling center. And now with a world-class sports bar and beautiful resort hotel, you can go all in for fun and all out for comfort. We're Red Hawk Resort Casino, official casino partner of the Sacramento Kings.
Folsom Lake Ford has trucks. The F-150s are here. Explorers, Expeditions, and a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports. They're in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford. Shop Folsom Lake Ford, your truck headquarters, right here in Sacramento for your favorite Ford models at good, fair prices. Short on cash? Buy any new Ford with 0 down. Save big with low interest finance rates. Plus, Folsom Lake Ford is paying top dollar for all trades. We want your vehicle regardless of mileage or condition. This could be the best time to buy a new Ford. Check out the huge inventory online at folsomlakeford.com or stop by the dealership and see the most recent arrivals. Looking for something special? Give them a call.